Hey, radio check, radio check. Hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in, folks. We are 1 hour and 45 minutes away from the start of the race. So if you guys don't want to wait along for the whole 1 hour 45 minutes, just set an alarm and we'll be getting underway then for the race itself. But everyone that is going to stick along, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you will enjoy the final, I'd say, what's it going to be? Probably final 5 hours or so of coverage here in 2025. This is going to be very, very exciting indeed. So, yeah, welcome along. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you've all had a nice Saturday evening. And, here we are, Sunday morning. The final day of the championship, 2025. It all comes down to the 7th of December. Yeah. We have hit 1,500 likes without the stream even beginning, so very much is appreciated. If you guys haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Bro's looking sharp and handsome. Thank you very much, folks. And that ad was one hell of a jump scare. I'm currently making snacks for the race. Thank you for listening through that advert. Unfortunately, the situation is I can't do anything about the adverts that play during before the stream actually starts, and when you first click on it, there'll always be one advert. I can't do anything about that, but hopefully no more adverts right till the end of the race. So it should be pretty nice. Okay. Did you sleep? Yeah. I had quite the nice. Well, actually, I've only slept for I don't know, maybe 5.5 hours. So yeah, didn't get that much sleep, but I'm ready. Yeah. Okay, do you think they're going to one stop or two stop? Well, there's an hour and 45 minutes to talk about that. I will run through the strategy for all of you folks that have just tuned in. You probably will have to listen to me talk about it for the next, probably about 10 more times before the race actually begins. But this is the, I've just gone past it. This is the race strategy. So the expected strategy is to start the race on a set of medium tyres, then go out onto the hards. The alternate strategy, start the race on the hards, then go onto the softs at the end of the race. Those are the one-stop combinations. The other combinations are start the race on the mediums, then go onto the hards, then go onto the soft if tyre degradation is high. And that is something that we have seen, actually. We have seen reasonably high tyre wear and a lot of graining issues for drivers. So that has been the big sort of pain point for the people, and we'll sort of see how they cope with that one. Yeah. Okay. Looking sharp. Did you buy a Red Bull? Yeah, I did actually. It's over here. So if Max wins, I've got a Red Bull. Yeah. The drivers do lose approximately 21 seconds coming into the pits, and that is assuming a 3-second stop, I think. So if the pit stop is, 2 seconds or 2.1 or whatever it is like, obviously that'll reduce down to 20 seconds, but assuming a 3-second pit stop, the drivers will take 21 seconds to go through the pits and get their tyres changed. And then we have got, of course, the gap for the safety car and virtual safety car. You save about 7 or 8 seconds by pitting under there. When are you going to stand and commentate? There's still an hour and 40 left, so I still might, but the problem is my webcam sort of points downwards, and obviously when I stand up it's going to be up there, so we'll see how that goes. And the other thing is I can't read chat, and the data all gets a little bit too small for me to be able to read if I'm standing up, so who knows? Yeah, zero red flags in 7 years. I mean, that's the thing. Around here, it's a very sort of wide circuit. You've got loads of runoff areas on the left and the right-hand side. So it's not really that likely that we would get a red flag. Yeah. McLaren wins. I think you should drink a Monster in under 30 seconds. Well, I don't have a Monster, so that is very, very unfortunate. Yeah. And I also, McLaren are sponsored by Monster. They aren't Monster themselves, Do you stream on Twitch? I do not stream this year. I will probably be streaming on Twitch next year, however. Yeah. I fear one of the three will have a mechanical failure. Yeah, it is, a very, very long season, 24 races long, and the engines only gets... There are only 4 engines for the entire season, so 6 races per engine, and, well, at some point, some reliability issue is going to creep in. You know, some drivers have had theirs already. Some drivers may just get unlucky. Who knows? Do not go from YouTube. Oh no, I'll be streaming on both. It won't be just YouTube or just Twitch. It'll be next season I plan to do both. Okay. Yeah. So, thank you all for tuning in. So I have actually, there is a plan. There is a little bit of a plan to try and hit 100k live viewers for today's race. We'll see if it happens. But for you guys to sort of assist me along with that one, I'm going to need a bit of your help. Essentially, what I'm going to need you guys to do is there is a link in the description to an Instagram post and a Twitter post. And essentially, if you could just share that, repost it, put it on your story, it helps out the channel so much. And yeah, it's essentially just going to give a channel a bit of a slipstream, like Yuki Tsunoda did, to give Max Verstappen that pole position. To be fair, Tsunoda didn't actually help out that much because Max set a quicker lap time without slipstream on his second lap anyway. So it was pretty good there from Max. But yeah, Tsunoda unfortunately down in 10th position after getting his second lap deleted. The top 10 are in a Red Bull sandwich. Yeah. If Max wins, then you just got to drink a Red Bull and stream. Yeah, I've got a Red Bull for that situation. A few other things to run through then. So the other thing is, this is the other meme that's been flying around quite often actually. Nicholas Latifi started the race in 16th position in 2021, and then certain events transpired that year, which led to quite the controversial race. And Lewis Hamilton has qualified in 16th position and will be starting the race in 16th. Unless anyone has any sort of issues and drops down to start in the pit lane, Hamilton will be starting in 16th position. So we'll see how that works out for Max. Max has got the award for most pole positions, as you can see here. 8 pole positions for him, 7 for Norris, and 6 for Oscar Piastri. And, you know, you've just got to give it to Max, really, that he has done an incredible job in a car that hasn't got race pace every single weekend. He will put together a magic qualifying lap on so many occasions, and that is how he has got this stat. He's done it in Suzuka, he's done it in Silverstone, he did it yesterday. I mean, yeah, he's definitely a better qualifier than Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Yeah, we'll have a look at the race pace. The race pace does look good for the McLaren team, actually. They have a bit of an advantage over the Red Bulls, as you can see here in the simulations. Red Bull are about half a tenth slower per lap. That's not going to be so much, but of course, we'll see how it works out. If Max ends lap 1 in the lead, okay, then what that is going to mean is that Max is going to be backing everyone up. Like, he's going to give DRS the best possible send-off by turning the entire grid into a DRS train. That will be Max Verstappen's plan, because there is no other alternative to get Lando Norris that far down the field if there are no crashes or reliability issues or anything like that. He has to back him up, otherwise he's practically handing Lando Norris the championship. How many compulsory pit stops? Just 1. There is no sort of rule this weekend of 2 compulsory pit stops or anything like that. It is just the standard. We will see if we get a repeat of 2010 and 2007. Of course, in 2007 we had the 2 McLarens and Kimi Raikkonen came out on top, and we've got a very similar scenario going into the final race of the season. The 2 McLarens, are leading in first and second, and then we've got the third driver is not a McLaren driver and is, in 2007 at least, won the championship, and we'll see if Max Verstappen will be able to repeat that success. 2007 is my favourite. 2025, yeah. We're going to find out how slow Sid can be if he tries. Yeah, I mean, oops, my final sector is 4 seconds off the pace. I have just no idea how that's happened. Yeah, I think that's what we expect to see from Max Verstappen. Yuki Tsunoda will also play a critical part. As I, sort of showed you guys a little bit earlier on, the pit stop window is 21 seconds. So the drivers will drop back 21 seconds after they do the pits. So if Tsunoda has enough pace, he will essentially what will happen is he will stay out as long as he possibly can, hope that by the time the McLaren's pits, he is still within 21 seconds of the McLaren drivers. And yeah, when the McLarens come into the pits, Yuki Tsunoda backs them right up. He's going to play the same role that Sergio Perez did back in 2021. And Tsunoda will probably start on the hard tyres. That makes the most sense, and the best way to essentially use him strategically is to put him out on the hard, hang him out there, and wait for the McLarens to pit and try and and try to make sure Tsunoda is ahead of the McLarens. And then, yeah, of course, Tsunoda's job will be defend, and defend. Yeah. Okay. If Max wins, McLaren will get the blame for bottling the World Drivers' Championship with their flexibility strategy. I mean, there are loads of different things that have gone wrong for McLaren. The double disqualification in Las Vegas, if they had just run the setup ever so slightly higher, they would have lost, let's say, a few positions in the race maybe, but still wouldn't have been disqualified. Max wouldn't have been in the talk right now of who's winning the championship, and it would have been happy days for them. But yeah, they didn't do that. What is your streaming setup? PC camera, microphone. I've just got a sort of webcam mic. Sort of a webcam, and then a Sennheiser E835 as my microphone, and then this sort of audio interface to just convert the analog into a digital signal. Okay. So yeah, we'll sort of see how it turns out. But thank you all for tuning in. And I'm just getting the notifications coming through on my phone. Everyone is reposting and sharing the Instagram posts on Twitter and Instagram. So very much is appreciated to everyone that has gone through and click the link in the description to share the Instagram posts. And I should have announced this when I said it earlier, but I will be picking one random winner out of the people that share it on Instagram and the people that share it on Twitter to get a free piece of F1 merch next year. So if you guys are interested, it'll be a driver of your choosing, whichever driver you want. So go ahead and do that if you're interested. All right, so studio camera is wobbling. Keep it steady. Yeah, I mean it's my table is a little bit wobbly, so if I wobble the table, the camera wobbles. All right, Alonso train about to take off in an hour 30. Yeah, Alonso may be holding up a train as well, but if Max leads the race, honestly, that will be the biggest Formula One train that we've ever seen. Yeah. Why didn't Alonso come to the drivers' dinner? I think that they were just a bit tired. Alonso, I think, took the photo. There was a photo of all of the GDPA drivers. I think Alonso was the driver that was taking the photo, if I remember correctly. But I'm not 100% certain. Yeah. How long will Alonso stay in Formula One? I have no idea. I mean, Alonso has got a perfect season against Lance Stroll. He's outqualified him every single race. If I remember correctly, he also did this in 2018. He did that against Stoffel Van Dorn in that terrible McLaren back in the day. Essentially, yeah, he outqualified Stoffel Van Dorn, who was a rookie at the time, but he was a very good rookie, and he had made, loads of sort of news rounds and stuff, did really well in Formula 2, and yeah, made it to Formula 1, and Fernando Alonso outqualified him every single race of the season, and yeah, Alonso's got a bit of a track record of doing that one. Do you think any other team can end up on the podium? Well, look, this is the thing. It is a bit of a wild card right now. What Verstappen needs to win the championship is Russell, Leclerc, and Alonso to sort of go up towards the podium places, push the McLaren team down. Because even, let's say if it's just Russell that gets up into second position, gets ahead of both McLarens, what Piastri and Norris can do? They'll just switch around. So at the on that final lap, Norris comes home in third position, and he'll get the podium, he'll get the championship that way. Whereas, if there's Russell and Leclerc, then Norris has really got to fight to get the championship. So that's what Verstappen wants. He wants Russell and Leclerc and Alonso to find their way up onto the podium. Maybe the question is, do they really have the pace? Alonso. In fact, I have a little quote here. Alonso isn't really all that happy about the car. He said, "Today's a great day, and tomorrow's an even better day." Partially, of course, because of the championship, he wants to see what happens. But the other reason is because he hates driving this car, and he's like, "Oh, finally, we're going to get this done with." And yeah, we'll see how Alonso does, but I do have the little quotes here from Alonso. Let's see if I can find it. Alonso says pretty much, I'll be watching a lot. Turn 3, you have a screen that's in the middle of your view. Turn 5, you have a screen on the inside. Turn 7, turn 9, there are 2 screens, one on the entry, one on the exit. Tomorrow's going to be a fantastic show. Alonso is going to be more busy looking at the screens off in the distance rather than actually driving the car because, well, to be honest, Alonso doesn't care where he finishes at this point in the season. He just needs to make sure that Aston Martin stay ahead of Haas for the constructors, but that's about it. And Alonso's just going to be looking at the screens like, oh, let's see what's going on right now. Did they collide in towards turn 1? So, yeah, Alonso's quite happy about that. And Max Verstappen, of course, he has his typical Max Verstappen attitude where he is all out, I have nothing to lose. And, well, he is correct. He's already got four titles. He would love to get a 5th, but to do that, he has got to, well, pull off a sensational race today. Yeah. Do you think Yuki is aware of the kamikaze memes? I think he's probably seen it, yeah. But he'll do what he can. He's obviously not going to risk his F1 super license because if he does, directly just crash into another driver, then I'm sure the FIA will have some very sort of strict concerns about that, and we'll see how that goes. Because he could very easily get his license revoked for directly crashing into a driver, affecting the championship. And I'm not sure exactly what the sort of situation would be like that, but I'm sure there'll be something up there. All right, F1 Gamer, tell us about your Indian origin. I was born in Mumbai, and and then I moved to the UK when I was pretty young. So that's about it, really. And I'd also appreciate it if you guys don't spam in the chat. I do see quite a few chat messages, especially when we've only got 4,000 people here. Repeating the same chat message again and again isn't always going to work. Service TV doesn't work. Well, you can check out SRF. SRF will maybe be broadcasting as well. That is via a Swiss VPN, but Service TV should be up in a few hours' time. We've still got an hour and 26 minutes left to go. F1 Gamer, which season do you like more, 24 or 25, and why? Thanks. I think 25, 25's been a whole lot closer, and the season's been, the drivers are really close to each other as well, so I would say 2025. In fact, if we do look at the race pace simulations for the drivers we're doing, where is it? All right, yeah, look at this. The race pace difference between the McLaren and the Alpine. Alpine, the slowest car that's only got 22 points to their name right now, they are only a second slower in terms of race pace compared to the McLarens. Like, they are not that far behind, and that is just how close the field is. So I'm quite happy about how close it is. Of course, overtaking is a bit difficult, but that's something that'll be addressed next year. In terms of tyre strategy, you can see here, you should probably exclude the soft tyres, saying the soft tyres can do 25 laps. That is not exactly true. But if you do look at the medium tyres, on average, the drivers did around 18 laps on the mediums here last year. If you look at last year's sort of stints and the race strategies that were done, and the hard tyres did around 29 to 30 laps for the hard tyres. So we'll be seeing something similar to that. Quite likely that we will have a split strategy between 1 and 2 stops, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see what tyre information comes out, of course, but that's still an hour and 15 minutes away. Okay. Yeah. For the Service TV, which VPN does work? It is Surfshark VPN, and then you join the Austrian server. So Austria or Vienna, that's how it goes. How many laps? It's 58 laps of racing, folks. 58 laps of racing. All right. Lewis will still be the next Alonso, still here in 10 years. I don't know. Fernando Alonso really does live and breathe motor racing, and he's taken part in the Le Mans 24 Hours. He's done other racing categories as well, and I think he basically wakes up and thinks about motor racing, whereas Lewis Hamilton, of course, Formula One is a really, really big part of his life, but it seems like he's also got other interests as well that are different to motor racing. So, maybe we'd see Hamilton take off a little bit earlier than Fernando Alonso, and well, in terms of how many years they're in Formula One, at least, I think Alonso is probably going to retire first, but we'll see how that goes. Chances of Oscar winning, they look around 5% or so, but we don't really know. We'll find out after turn 1. If turn 1, there's utter chaos because Verstappen is on the right-hand side of the grid, Lando Norris is on the left-hand side of the grid, and Norris will be on the inside line. If there is any sort of contact, it would be crazy. So, we'll find out at the end of lap 1, really. There is no clean and dirty side of the grid. Someone actually DM'd me to ask if there is a clean or a dirty side of the grid. But essentially, in fact, I'll show you on the flying lap of the circuit. The reason why we don't have a clean side of the grid and a dirty side of the grid is because when you're going towards the final corner, so you see here, you exit here on the left-hand side of the straight, and then you cut across to the right-hand side of the straight. And by the time you're onto the right-hand side, the starting grid is already behind you, so the drivers actually the drivers are sort of cutting across, and there's no clear dirty side, no clear clean side. It's equally bad for both of them, and so not too much of an issue there, and it's not going to be the drivers on the outside or the inside are going to be terribly faster or slower. It will be relatively similar for both of them. There's no fastest lap point in 2025. That is correct, folks. No fastest lap will be... no points will be awarded for fastest lap. Yeah. Okie dokes. Hope you are all enjoying the coverage, folks, and we'll be getting underway for the race in 1 hour and 22 minutes. We've already got 2,000 people tuned into the live stream. That is simply mega, and well, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. It really does help out the channel and the algorithm. And again, if you do want to support the channel and potentially win some F1 merch for next year, all you've got to do, there's links in the description to an Insta post or a Twitter post, and you just retweet the post or put it up on your story or repost the post on Instagram, and then you'll be entered into a giveaway, and you can win a piece of merch, and essentially it helps out the algorithm, shares the stream to a bunch of people. Why are you so early? Well, it's a title decider. I can't be late, so this is why I've started streaming so early. Yeah. Your excellent reporting is better than the Bumble and Brundle and Crofty. Sky should snap you up. Well, thank you very much. I still think my commentary's still got some more improvement left to go, to be honest. But I know a lot of people do prefer me to Martin Brundle and Crofty because, well, maybe I'm a little bit less biased. Maybe you've just not heard me for... maybe, I can't really tell, really. Maybe my commentary is just better. But I do say a lot, and when I do rewatch some of my streams, I rewatch the streams, try to see, what I could have improved in terms of commentary and things like that. And sometimes I do say so yeah, and things like that. But I'll do my best to continue improving, and maybe at some point I will get a phone call from Sky Sports asking to commentate. Okay. Why don't you use F1 TV? F1 TV is the thing that sort of provides all of this data. Multiview is the exact app, but you do need an F1 TV subscription to actually be able to, look at all of this. Does Max go for a 1 or a 2 stop? Max most likely goes for a 1 stop because if he wants to back Lando Norris up, he will need track position. So for that reason, he will go for a 1 stop, just back him up, and maintain as much track position as he possibly can. Yeah. Remember the yeah counter? Oh yeah, I remember. We had a so yeah counter, and it would, I started out just actually properly counting it, but it got pointless very quickly, and we just put it to infinity plus 99 and called it a day. What happens when at turn 5 of the circuit changes? Well, the circuit changes happened back in 2021, really, but I shall take you through a flying lap in its entirety and show you what to expect. So, this is the final corner here. You just want to get a good exit, really. It's as simple as that. You don't have DRS coming down the start-finish straight, actually, because, well, it's not too long, and the FIA thought there's no point, really. So, the drivers take the first corner in fourth gear, and then you go through turns number 2 and 3 flat out, and at this point you could potentially get a bit of a slipstream on your rival, send a lunge to the inside. We've seen it done before, but most likely you do wait, and there is a DRS detection point actually a little bit further back before the entry of turn 5, which will give you DRS down this next start-finish straight. Sorry, not start-finish straight, this is back straight, and you can reach speeds of up to 330 k's, maybe a little bit higher with a tow. Super duper late onto the brakes for turns number 6. And then an exit for turn 7, which is again very important to get a nice exit. Your entry can be as compromised as you want. The exit is the important thing because you've got a big long straight again with a DRS zone. Then you go in towards turn number 9. Again, a pretty big braking zone. You're braking from around 8th gear down to 4th, and you get onto the power nice and early. Lewis Hamilton actually did have an issue here in FP1, so that was one of the issues where he turned in a little bit too harshly. He thought something on the front of the car broke. That's what he said over the radio message. I don't think anything was really confirmed after that, but he did go flying into the barriers. He was all right. The car got repaired, but of course, it knocked his confidence, and his pace was down in P16. Then you have got turns number 10 and 11, and this is backing up city. The track gets pretty narrow, and if you put your car in the right position, no one can really overtake you, because let's say you're taking the inside line here, you're defending the inside. Going round the outside is so much extra distance and you're going at such a slow speed, you cannot justify going round the outside. And yeah, you can back up the drivers by 4 seconds per sector here. Same thing through turns number 13, and same thing for turn number 14, the Nicholas Gotifi corner. And then turn 15 and 16, you've got to pick up the pace a little bit, but again, it's very single file through here. It's not very likely that you'll be sending a move to the inside, even if you are backing someone up. And then you come to the final corner, and that's across the line, really, for a lap of Abu Dhabi. Yeah. Lewis has confidence this season, question mark. Yeah, okay, that's... Yeah, he doesn't really have confidence, does he? His looks reasonably depressed. Okay. So, yeah, thanks all for tuning in. 4,500 people tuned into the live stream. Very much is appreciated. And yeah, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Goes a long way to helping out the channel. Where to watch F1 for free? For free, I mean, you can watch it for $2 a month if you get Surfshark VPN. There's a link in the description to that. $2 a month, and then you search Servers TV Formula 1 on Google, and then you can watch it via an Austrian VPN server. Lewis must be so relieved that the season's over. Yeah, I mean, he's looking forward to, well, I don't know about looking forward to 2026, but he seems a little bit in a better mood when talking about 2026. Same thing for Alonso. Alonso's been talking about how terrible this car is for a while now, and well, that's why he is yeah, that's why Fernando Alonso is also very happy for the season to be finally ending for him. All right, let's continue on with the YouTube chat, and let's also run through the rest of this information. Another thing is that, we could have a similar scenario to, 2010, where I don't think, actually, if I remember correctly, Max Verstappen has never led the championship this season so far. It's always been one of the McLaren drivers. So Max could do what Seb Vettel did in 2010 by winning the championship and never leading it until the final race of the season. Yeah, that is always a possibility of what could happen, and we'll see how it goes. But the other thing that I wanted to... the other thing is, if you look back in the previous 10 years of racing here in Abu Dhabi, whichever driver has got pole position has gone on to win the race. And, well, for that reason, we are going to see... it looks likely that Max is going to win, but, well, according to the past, but we shall see what happens. There will, of course, be drama here with 58 laps of racing in Abu Dhabi. Okay. Dude, can we get the pit windows? Indeed, you can, folks. Let's get the pit windows up onto the screen. So let's make this a little bit smaller. And the best way to get the pit windows is, well, you can see here, lap 20 to 26 is when you expect the medium tyre runners to be pitting. Lap 40 to 45 is when you expect the hard tyre runners to be pitting, and it will be around about lap 15 to 20, I'd say, is where the soft tyre runners will be pitting, maybe even a little bit earlier if they start the race on the softs at all. It doesn't make that much sense, really, to start the race on the soft tyres. Okay. Yeah. Okie dokes. Be sure to hit the like button, folks. Really does help out the channel. And if you haven't gone over to the link in the description with the Instagram and the Twitter, be sure to share that. And, well, we'll be getting underway for the race very, very shortly. What compounds do we have for this race? We do have the C1, the C5 for the softs, the C4 for the mediums, and the C3 for the hards. So it's the the softest of Pirelli's range, excluding, of course, the C6. The C6 tyre is actually being removed for next year. It wasn't deemed applicable and not very useful for the drivers. So for that reason, we're going to be sticking with the C5s, C4s, and C3s for next year. And yeah, these are the tyres that we've got this weekend. We are going to have some drivers complain about tyre wear. You know, Abu Dhabi is very much a rear limited circuit. You look at the final sector and it's very traction heavy, going through turns 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16 consecutive. You know, you've got consecutive, 5 corners that are asking a lot of your rear tires. And for that reason, yeah, because they're asking a lot of your rear tires, it's not like, turn number 5, you've got a big traction zone and then you can wait for an entire straight, then another big traction zone. They're all consecutive right after another, and that overheats your tires. And then, you know, the main start finish straight's very short, and then you get another traction zone through turn 1, which causes more problems. So you've got to be careful in the final sector. That's why McLaren were good last year. McLaren had the ability to, well, essentially start out on whichever tyre they wanted and maintain the temperature rather than, you know, pushing really, really hard to maintain pace and then also overheating their tyres. McLaren were able to keep the tyre temperatures under check. They're also good at that this year, but yeah, I think Max is a lot closer this year to be able to compete. Right. F1 game, if you had to just define the season in one word, what word would you use? I would probably use cinema, absolute cinema. Obviously, absolute cinema is 2 words, but cinema or simply lovely. Simply lovely. I mean, if Max wins, simply lovely would be the best way to describe it. Yeah. Looking pretty snazzy today, mate. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. All right. Will the strategy be backing up Max on the quiet? Yeah, Max's strategy will be backing everyone up, essentially. In the final sector, he won't suffer from that much overheating, and, you know, whoever's in his dirty air will suffer quite drastically because they'll just slide around that ever so slightly more, and no amount of short shifting is going to help them. If they short shift too much, then they'll drop off the back, and yeah, if they don't short shift enough, then if they do too little short shifting, then they'll overheat their tyres. If they do too much short shifting, they'll drop off the back, and as a result, they will start to struggle. Okay. Do you think Lewis will retire? I mean, Lewis will retire at some point. You know, I can't tell you for certain if it's going to be next season or the season after, but if things don't turn around, I don't really see him sticking around in the world of Formula 1. Comeback is a pretty good word to use it as well. Yeah, comeback would be nice. I mean, it would be the biggest comeback we've seen in F1 history. From 104 points behind the championship leader, he had called off his plans. He told his parents, you know, don't come to the race in Abu Dhabi. Figure out what you want to do because I'm not winning the title, so there's no point in you being there. And yeah, and now things have turned out that here he is in the fight for the title. All right. Yeah. Do you think Lewis's decision of leaving Mercedes was the right call? Yeah, I mean, I think he'd sort of come to the end of his time with Mercedes. You know, all great partnerships do come to an end at some point. You know, Michael Schumacher left Ferrari, Seb Vettel left Red Bull. I'm sure Max Verstappen will leave Red Bull. You know, Lionel Messi left Barcelona. You know, these things always, as much as we would like them to last forever, they always have to come to an end at some point. And, you know, Hamilton had to move on. Was Ferrari the correct team to do it with? That is a bit of a questionable choice, but yeah, I think it had to come to an end at some point. What does KO mean? That means they'd been knocked out. This is the data from Q3. We'll be getting the race data coming through in a few minutes, around about, I'd say 20 minutes or so, and then we'll have the drivers doing their reconnaissance laps around the circuit, trying to get as much information as they can, and then, of course, we'll be going out onto the track. I saw a video on YouTube claiming that Alonso gave Max the slipstream in Q2. Is that correct? Indeed he did. Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso have been giving each other toes for a very long time, actually. Not just this season. It's been quite consistently throughout the years. They've been giving each other toes, maybe in free practice, maybe in Q1, maybe in Q2. Hulkenberg has also been doing the same thing with Max Verstappen. He gives he's given a toe to Max, and Max has given him a toe back as well. So Max does have his friends when his teammate can't make it through into Q3. But either way, you know, Max did get a toe from Alonso in Q2, and he did get a toe from Yuki in Q3, but it didn't matter in the end because his final lap was his theoretical best, and he was 2/10 clear even without a toe. He got a toe on his first run, and then he set an even better lap on his second run without a toe, and then he went to the press conference and said, "Oh yeah, I knew I had to set a better lap in the second run without a toe because otherwise everyone else would whine and say, oh, he only got pole position because of the toe." So Max proves all the haters wrong before they even get to say anything, and gets P1. I don't know how many haters Max Verstappen has really got, to be honest, because of course, back in 2023, everyone, you know, was a little bit like, oh, can this guy please stop winning right now? But this year, he has provided us with some much-needed entertainment with this sort of dry McLaren battle due to the papaya rules. Yeah. Okay. What's good, F1 game? I can't wait for the race. I cannot wait indeed, folks. Cannot wait. There is an hour and 6 minutes left. If you guys do want to go watch the quali stream, see the final bits of Q3, then go ahead and check that out. Oscar Piastri, you know, I had a really good final sector, but unable to close up on his teammate, unfortunately. His first sector overall just wasn't good enough. And yeah, he dropped back. It was the best lap he could have set in terms of theoretical best times. You know, like, in theory, he couldn't have gone any quicker. Same thing for Norris, and same thing for Max. So all three of the drivers set their best possible laps at the end, but of course, sometimes your best is still not enough, and that was one of the occasions for the McLaren drivers. They say who wins in Abu Dhabi wins it in the following season. It's been true. It's been the same for the past 7 seasons. It has. You know, I'll quickly bring it up, actually. Where is that graphic? Yeah, here we go. So, whoever wins it in Abu Dhabi, you look 2015. If you exclude 2017, so you look from 2018 onwards, Hamilton won in 2019 because he won the 2018 race. Same thing for Hamilton winning in 2020 because he won the 2019 race. Verstappen won 2021, and then obviously, you know, we've got 4 consecutive ones there. So according to the Abu Dhabi legend that has been true for the past 7 years, maybe this year Lando Norris will win. Of course, you can pick your stats that you want to hear. You can look at the stat saying, oh, back in the final 2 times where we've had 3 or more drivers go to potentially win the title, the driver who is in 3rd position won the title. So, you know, all of you Oscar Piastri fans, you'll be rooting for him using that stat. Max will probably have his own statistic, and Norris has his own one. They have no sort of reality in terms of what's going to happen. They're not sort of based in reality. It's not going to predict what's going to happen in the future because we've got 3 different stats predicting 3 different winners, and only time will tell. Oscar needs a miracle. Yeah, I mean, Oscar does need a miracle to turn things around. Things haven't been all that amazing for him at this moment in time, but, well, we shall see if something happens like that, because, well, anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does. And that's something that I've very much learned throughout this season. Yeah. best dressed F1 presenter, support from Italy. Thank you very much for tuning in. And yeah, I appreciate the compliments, guys, about the suit. I'd definitely say it's my best suit that I've got available to me. All right. These are the pole ones. Yeah, that's the other thing. Whichever driver has got pole position in Abu Dhabi for the past 10 years has gone on to win the race. That, of course, doesn't mean that Norris isn't going to finish in second position, but it indicates that Max is going to win, apparently. Yeah. Max is using the Brazil engine. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. Max is using the fresh engine that he got in Brazil, and he'll be looking to do his utmost best to try and, well, stay ahead of the McLarens, use the engine to its advantage, and essentially his aim will be back them up in Sector 3, and then in Sector 2, because he's got the Brazil engine and just goes full send down the straight, the McLarens aren't able to overtake him. But I think that's a little bit of wishful thinking. He's going to have to get very, very defensive, very aggressive, I think, because the DRS is pretty strong around here, and the McLarens are not slow in a straight line. You can see Piastri there is 16th in the speed traps at 327, but the drivers that are quickest in the speed traps are only going 332, I think. Yes, that's a 5 km/h difference in terms of speed traps, and I think Leclerc and Tsunoda on that occasion had a tow as well. So it's not that big in terms of top speed difference, and well, we shall see how it goes. We'll also find out who is the final driver to use DRS here. It's been a wonderful time with DRS in Formula 1, and well, be sad to see it go. Hopefully the racing improves next year to the point where we don't need DRS, but if the racing is bad, I think they might have to bring it back. Yeah. F1 Gamer, if Lando wins, he will definitely cry if Max wins. It might be screaming moment of simply lovely. If Oscar wins, he'll say, okay, see you guys next year. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Piastri has a very sort of a calm attitude. We haven't really seen him get angry or furious for many things, and he might we'll see how he celebrates. He may just come over the radio and say not bad for a number 2 driver, and then disconnect the radio and then go home. Who knows? Okay, will you be streaming the entire race? Indeed I will, folks. I will be streaming from lap 1 to lap 58. Alright, is the 3-way draw possible? It is not possible to have the 3 drivers tied on points, unfortunately. The closest we can get is 2 drivers tied on points and 1 driver ahead or 1 driver behind. But yeah, the race, it will go down to whoever's got the most sort of race wins, and they win via that way. Every single driver, so the top 3 have all got 7 wins each. And yeah, we'll find out who gets the final sort of who gets the final race win today. Okay, let's see. Have we got the race data coming through? I'm going to give it a quick refresh. Let's see. Is the race data coming through? Not just yet, folks. Not just yet. Okay, let's go back to the quali data. Fantastic. All right. How many pit stops? Probably just 1 pit stop, folks. Probably just 1. By the way, love your drip. Dressed to impress, mate. Indeed, I am dressed to impress. Yeah. I'm concerned about the new manual override system. The cars are smaller next year, which makes DRS helpful, especially at Monaco. This manual overdrive can help overtaking them. Well, that's the plan, that's the plan. We could have 2 pit stops as well. I will put up the strategy now. We are only 1 hour away from the start of the race. We've got 6,000 people tuned into the live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. I know that you're all dedicated fans because, well, you've tuned in this early to the stream, so very much is appreciated. And if you could smash that like button, really helps out the YouTube algorithm. And there is one other thing that I would like you to type into the chat. Essentially, just one chat message of if you were trying to Google, if you were going to type something into Google hoping that this live stream would come up, obviously not F1 Gamer live stream, something like Abu Dhabi live or F1 race live or F1 race stream or whatever it is. If you could type that into the chat, it is going to, this is the final sort of trick of the YouTube algorithm that I've got under my sleeve. So sort of whatever you type into the YouTube algorithm, whatever you type into Google for hoping that this stream would come up, if you could type that into the chat, bro, it's gonna cook. So F1 race stream or Formula 1 live, whatever it is, just put one message into the chat, and that should be sufficient. Yeah, very much appreciated, but folks. All right, so yeah, we'll be getting underway very, very shortly. Let's bring up the what was I going to show you guys? Oh yes, here we go. We have got the race strategies. So a big mix here, actually. So the top two strategies, of course, are your one-stops. Then strategy 3, 4, and 5 are your two-stop strategies. One-stop strategies start on the mediums, go on to the hards for the end of the race. The other strategies start on the hards, then go on to the softs at the end, because you've got lower fuel load at the end. So that works out really, really nicely. So, we'll sort of see how that one works out. And yeah, all right. Thanks everyone for typing those messages into the chat. Really is appreciated. And the plan is in probably 1 hour's time, when the YouTube algorithm picks that up, it will be absolutely simply lovely. How many mods are here? We're going to have quite a few mods, I think, tuning in. So what I think Yuki Tsunoda will be doing here, actually, because you can see the pit stop window for the drivers that start on the medium tyres will be, well, it will be, they pit between lap number 20 and 26. If Tsunoda starts now on the hard tyres, what is that going to mean for Yuki Tsunoda? That means he is going to stay out all the way till lap number 40 or so. So the McLarens are going to pit, potentially come out ahead of him, potentially come out behind him. It all depends on what Yuki Tsunoda's pace is like. So if Tsunoda has got the pace to sort of, stay ahead of the McLarens and stay within their pit window, the McLarens will be forced at some point to come into the pits and come out behind Yuki Tsunoda, which, as we know, would be catastrophic for the McLaren's chances because, overtaking around here, if you are a driver that has been told it's time to defend, Tsunoda will go into Strat 7. Strat 7 is pretty much as close to as quali mode as you can get for the race. That is what Yuki Tsunoda will be told to use on his car. He will have 100% of the overtake button available to him. And, his job is block, block, block for as much as he possibly can. And for that reason, if I'm forecasting and predicting the race strategies, I think Max will start on the medium, so will Norris and Piastri. Tsunoda starting in 10th position. His job is start on the hards and stay within the McLaren pit window. That is his job. And we'll see sort of how it goes from there. The drivers lose approximately 21 seconds in the pit lane there. If the drivers have a 3-second pit stop, then they'll lose 21 seconds. But of course, if they have a 2-second stop, then they'll lose only 20 seconds. So it of course depends on the amount of time required for their pit stop. And also, if you pit under the safety car or virtual safety car, you save about 7 seconds, 8 seconds, around about there. Is Tsunoda good at defending? I mean, look, when the drivers are told to defend and, I'm sure Tsunoda would get a big bonus if Verstappen won the title. So, and also Tsunoda just wants to help out the team. He wants to show that he's a team player because he wants to do anything that he can to ensure that he can make his way back to Formula One. Next year, of course, he's going to be the reserve driver for the Red Bull team. There are always opportunities to make your way back. With Honda now powering the Aston Martin car next year, there will be an opportunity there if Alonso was to leave or if Stroll decided, Formula One, I can't be bothered anymore. So there are those sort of opportunities for Tsunoda. Of course, Toyota is joining and they're sponsoring Haas in a major way, so maybe he'll get a little bit of sway via that. But, Tsunoda is a Honda driver. He's not a Toyota driver, but, he is Japanese, so maybe there'll be some sort of elements at play there. So we'll see what Tsunoda can do. Chance of a safety car, 38%. Chance of a VSC, 50%. We'll see if the McLarens pit or don't pit for flexibility. That'll be certainly very interesting to see. And, the stakes are as high as they get right now. And the thing is, the Red Bull pit wall is the most experienced pit wall when it comes to dealing with these strategy things, dealing with all of the potential things that could go right, that could go wrong. And having the ability to perform under pressure, whereas the McLaren pit wall, they have never performed under this level of pressure before, and all of the engineers that were back at McLaren in 2007, 2008, they have very much moved on. Maybe there's a few still stuck around, but the rest of them, they've moved on to do other things, and for that reason, the McLaren pit wall, very inexperienced. That's why we saw the call that they made in Qatar. It wasn't because they had actually thought it was a good idea. They just sort of fumbled under the pressure, crumbled under the pressure, whatever it wasn't a good call, and it was down to the pressure aspect of things. And maybe there was a little bit of aspect, we don't want to box Norris and Piastri right behind each other because they'll double stack and then we'll cause Norris to lose time, but I highly doubt that situation. I think it was just a bad call overall. Okay. No experience, but definitely flexible, yeah. That about sums up my job applications as well. Yeah. Anyway, we have got we've got this meme for any of you folks that remember back to 2021. We're watching Formula One in 2021. Nicholas Latifi started the race in 16th position back then, and we know how that one turned out. We'll see what happens to Max Verstappen today. Lewis Hamilton is starting in 16th position. Can you show turn 16 to turn 1 again? Indeed, I will, folks. So just to reiterate, there is not a clean side or a dirty side of the grid here. So this is the final corner, and as you can see, the drivers will exit on the left-hand side of the straight. However, for turn number 1, they want to be on the right-hand side of the straight. So they cut across, and there isn't a clear clean side or a dirty side. And essentially, the drivers will, the drivers on the right-hand side will have a sort of dirty track, and same thing for the drivers on the left. It won't be perfect for either of them, and we'll be getting relatively even starts between both of them. Whereas in Qatar, the drivers would exit the final corner on the left-hand side of the straight, and then also enter turn 1 on the left-hand side of the straight, resulting in a very clean part of the left-hand side, very dirty right-hand side. But this weekend, it's not that big of a concern. Yeah. Okay, we have got the race data coming through. Perfect. Okay. And let's switch over to race mode, and let's make that full screen. Brilliant. Okay, let's get rid of the quali data as well. Give me a sec, folks. All right, so there we go. Let's put the YouTube chat back up so you guys can read some chat messages. What are the rumours about which team will have the fastest car in 26? There really aren't too much right now. There'll be some rumours that will fly around. In 2 weeks' time, we'll find out. There'll be some rumours going around. But right now, not too much to worry about. So at the rear of the field, the left side is cleaner, but at the front, the right side, a little bit. But to be honest, I've taken that line in the sim, but the drivers take a totally different line in real life. So that, that's not exactly representative of what is going to happen. So yeah, I'm driving the simulator. The F1 game suggests a racing line, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it is the best possible line. Will this show the live footage? Unfortunately not. I cannot show you the live footage, but what I can show you is all of the lap times, all the data, all of the drives going around, and actually for the race mode itself, I do also have the ability to show you the championship standings. So if I quickly just pop over to race mode, you can see here, let's get rid of this countdown timer. We've got the drivers here, their standings, and then it will get updated throughout the race. If Verstappen is in first position, Norris in last, then that will change the order. So that is, that's brilliant. Okay. Any sand on track? I mean, there's always sand on track, really, because we are here in Abu Dhabi with a desert all around, so yeah. The anticipation of what can happen. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about a Formula One grid. All of the engineers have been working for 3-4 days tirelessly trying to get the most accurate prediction of what's going to happen, trying to get the quickest possible car, and then it all comes down to what happens in turn number 1. And essentially, it's it'll be quite interesting to see what happens. It's so much anticipation, so much nervousness, so many butterflies flying around, and we'll see how it goes. That's the beauty of the start of Formula One. So nearly 8,000 people watching. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you're all enjoying the coverage, folks. If you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Really does help out the channel. And hopefully we can make our way towards 100,000 live viewers for this race stream. There is a link in the description for There's a link in the description for an Instagram post and a Twitter post. If you guys share that post, retweet it or put it up on your story or repost it on Instagram, you'll get entered into a giveaway for 2 free pieces of merch. So one for Instagram, one for Twitter. It helps out the channel, and well, it would. And then you guys could win a piece of F1 merch of whichever driver you want. Okay. Time loss in the pit lane, 21 seconds, folks, 21 seconds. In fact, I will just have these stats sort of cycling through because, well, why not? Max Verstappen, 8 pole positions for the guy. How has he done that? I really don't know. Well, his qualifying performances are on another level, and that is how he can perform so well and has been able to hold on. We know that overtaking is difficult at this circuit, or difficult in this season as a whole, really, and well, Verstappen has been able to get pole position, able to qualify really well, and then outscore how quick the car is, because then he can just keep track position, and Red Bull have a reasonably good strategy. Here we go. Let's have a look at what Fernando Alonso's got to say. You can see here, he said, "I'll be watching a lot," and he's basically pointed out at every single part in the first 2 sectors where there's a screen. He said, oh, there's a screen at turn 3, there's a screen at turn 5, there's a screen at turn 7, there's one at turn 9. Tomorrow's going to be a fantastic show for all of us. And Alonso is not even focused on driving his car. Alonso is much more focused on looking at what's going on in the championship battle. And, well, it will be great to see how, be great to see what Alonso can do. But I think the championship battle is what everyone is looking for. Orphan, thanks for the donation. How big is the chance of turn 1 Oscar Lando incident? I mean, Oscar needs to get in front of Lando if he wants any sort of chance. So will he send it? Well, look, Oscar's most likely going to be on the outside line. Lando's going to be on the inside. So if Norris gets a bad start, Oscar could swoop around the outside. But Oscar swooped around the outside last year and tried to go around the outside of Max, and that did not go well for him, and he DNF'd from the race. So will he try something again if there is chaos in terms of, the 2 McLaren drivers? I don't really know. It's we don't really know how Norris or Piastri perform in these environments, or what their decision-making process is, because in reality, we could have Norris, I need only 3rd position. Let's play it safe for the entirety of the first stint. I'm not going to battle whatsoever for lap 1. It's too risky. And then, what he'll do is, okay, it's time to, and then he'll push in the 2nd stint and get his podium. So maybe that's what Norris will do. Only time will really tell. What else was I going to show you guys? This is the race pace simulation. You can see here McLaren about half a tenth quicker than the Red Bulls in terms of race pace. That's pretty much nothing, and it's going to be, well, very, very close. And Verstappen will very much be able to hold on. If he can end lap 1 in the lead, then, well, let the circus of Formula 1 begin. What do you mean by 1-stop and 2-stop? It is the race strategy that I'm talking about. So a 1-stop means you'll come into the pit lane to change your tyres 1 time, and a 2-stop means you'll come into the pit lane to change your tyres 2 times. And we'll have the drivers, of course. These are the possible strategies. If tyre wear is high, you can see track temperatures right now, 34 degrees Celsius, so reasonably hot, to be honest. And that could cause a little bit of graining, cause some problems for the drivers. That has been sort of the major talking point. Pirelli were expecting a very easy 1-stop this weekend. However, with the advent, well, not the advent of graining, but graining has turned out to be a problem with the slightly higher temperatures, slightly quicker cars, and for that reason, we may get a situation where teams do decide to do a 2-stop strategy. Yeah. Okay, why no medium, soft? The reason is most drivers don't actually have 2 sets of medium tyres. Most teams have 2 sets of hards, I think, or one hard, sort of used set of hards and then one used set of mediums. But yeah, essentially the reason is they do it because, the reason they are doing this with only one stint on the mediums is because Pirelli haven't provided them with enough sets. Okay. Okie dokes. Oscar can get a slipstream off Max. Yes, Oscar definitely can. I mean, the thing is, there isn't a really big run into turn one, so I will show you here on the flying lap of the circuit. Let's get rid of the chat. Okay, so on the flying lap of the circuit, let me rewind a little bit. So what you have here is you exit the final corner, and the starting grid ends quite early, actually. So just about here, this is pole position. So you're nearly halfway down the straight when where pole position is, so you haven't got the longest distance to slipstream. I think it's approximately 200 meters or 175 meters till the drivers hit the brakes in towards turn one, so it's not a huge margin for the drivers actually to get a slipstream. However, of course, at turn 5 there are loads of slipstreaming possibilities. We know how turn 5 turned out in 2021, where we had I think it was one of the two drivers, Max or Lewis, one of them cut the chicane at turn number 6 because they were attempting to overtake each other, and one of them cut the chicane. I can't remember who. I think it was Hamilton, but yes, essentially there will be, of course, things that go down like that. Okay. I think the times are wrong. The race starts in 44 minutes. I think, yeah. You probably want to fast forward to the stream. If you click the live button at the bottom of the YouTube player, it will fast forward it right till the most live point. How far down do we need Lando to go for Max to win? I think it is Max needs to win and Lando needs to be P4. If Max is Max is first and Lando's fourth position, like what happened in Qatar, then then Max will win. Yeah. Can you do a flying lap during? Can you do flying lap after flying lap during quali? No, you'll run out of battery, and you will also your tires will be too hot to do double flying laps back to back. Yeah. Okay. Apologies there, John G57. I don't know why Nightbot deleted your message. Nightbot has been it's been a little bit questionable, but to be honest, with the amount of people that tune into streams right now, I think it's partially necessary. Yeah. Can you show the team standings? Indeed I can. That is a very good point there, Joe. So the team standings here, what you can see, McLaren way off into the distance, not really a concern for anyone. Mercedes also second position, unless Red Bull get a 1-2. Mercedes have secured that P2 second place in the constructors, so that's very fine for them. Red Bull are third. There's no chance Ferrari gets third off them. Ferrari fourth. This is their worst position since 2020. Also another bad stat really for Lewis Hamilton. He is the first driver to get consecutively knocked out of Q3 on 3 occasions in a Ferrari. So no other time has a Ferrari driver been consecutively knocked out of Q1, but apart from Lewis Hamilton. So not great for him. Williams, they're in 5th position. They have very easily got that 5th place in the bag. Aston Martin, however, they're only 7 points ahead of Haas F1 team. And Alonso's there in 6th. And we've got Ocon in 8th. So, if Alonso were to have a bad race and Behrman could get up some more places, then Haas could score enough points to get ahead of Aston Martin. So Alonso, while watching the races from the screen, also has to just score a few points to ensure that Aston Martin keep their 7th position. We've got Haas in 8th. They are only 5 points ahead of Kick Sauber, so of course Bortoletto's there in 7th position and Hulkenberg's down in 18th, so Hulkenberg will of course be doing his best to score some points, but Bortoletto is their main sort of driver that's going to be trying to get the 8th position spot in the constructors title. Where do you watch the race when I don't have F1 TV? What you can do is get Surfshark VPN using the link in the description. You get Surfshark VPN for $2 a month. Then you join an Austrian VPN server, search Servers TV Formula 1, and then you can watch the coverage. Okay. Right, we got 10,000 people tuning into the live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Very much is appreciated. Hope you are all enjoying the coverage so far. And oh my goodness, I cannot wait for the start of this race. Okay, what are the disadvantages of being P2? Well, the disadvantage of being P2 are not so bad. Of course, you will start 8 meters behind the driver in first position, but you do have the inside line into turn 1, which could be very critical if you do get a good start. Norris does have to get a good start. He's in fact improved drastically compared to last year to his race starts, and he can drop the clutch at the exact right time, release it in a very slow manner to make sure he doesn't get too much wheel spin, and well, we'll see if he can beat Verstappen off the line. I think it's unlikely. Verstappen has a very good history of getting starts. And of course, I'm sure Norris on the starting grid, the amount of butterflies that are going to be going on in sort of in his stomach and just sort of like the nervousness. I think Piastri also in Baku, there was an element of that. He didn't have the best qualifying in Baku, but then that element of nervousness, a bit of anti-stall, and then, race turned around totally. And, well, maybe we'll see something like that. I think Norris, of course, knows that anti-stall is very bad. He's seen it happen from his teammates. So as a precaution, he'll probably rev a little bit higher than he probably should, let the clutch out a little bit sooner. But that's wheel spin, of course, at the end of the day, which he doesn't want either. Okay. The bad side of the track, he's not really at the bad side of the track. We don't have a clear, clean side, clear, dirty side, because the drivers cut across from the left-hand side of the track to the right-hand side. Okay. 38 minutes left, folks. 38 minutes left till the start of the race. We'll be getting underway. The drivers making their way out onto the circuit. They are doing their reconnaissance laps. They're driving around, getting a feel for the conditions, seeing what the track is like, and checking everything works on the car. And then we'll be into, and then we'll be going racing. Yeah, it's going to be good. Bro, have a sip of water. Yes, I actually do need to do that. Otherwise, my throat is going to start to hurt. But thankfully, I've had some honey and coffee. Quite the nice mix, actually, and helps out my throat quite a bit. I will do a flying lap after this. Right. Another thing is the McLaren team are running a split garage this weekend. So normally how it works is, let's say Antonelli and George Russell, they'll both go out and they'll do whatever run that they want to do, and then they'll share the data amongst the two, and they'll be like, I did these lap times on hard tyres, I did these lap times on mediums, and then the teams can work together to sort of put together a better race strategy. Right now, McLaren are running split race strategies, meaning that Oscar Piastri's side of the garage does not get any sort of data from Lando Norris, and neither does Lando Norris' side get any data from Oscar Piastri, which is, of course, going into the final race of the season, it makes sense to do it like that, but that may put them at a disadvantage compared to a united Red Bull, of course. So this is a flying lap of the circuit. You make your way out of the final corner. We've got a 5.4 kilometer long racetrack here, not the longest that we've seen, or not the shortest either. You break at the 70 meter mark, first apex, quite nice and easy. Don't go wide on track limits, of course. You could get a lap time deletion. 4 of those, a 5-second penalty is coming your way. Then you go down the hill a little bit towards turn number 5. Big braking zone here. Hit the brakes around about the 70 meter mark. Just go super, super deep. Cut back for the late apex. Onto the power as early as you can. Straighten out the steering wheel as well. Then you get the DRS marker. Hit the DRS button as early as possible. And you make your way towards turns number 6. Then, turn 6. Very, very good overtaking opportunity. I think we're going to see some chaos here at the opening lap of the race. You make your way through there in second gear and exit turn 7. Try to reduce your wheel spin. Do a little bit of short shifting to ensure that you don't spin out. Then you go towards turn number 9. Very long sort of corner. You can brake, hit your apex early, and then onto the power. You have enough downforce, you have enough grip. At that point, you're in 5th gear, you're at about 120 miles per hour, and you've got the downforce just to go flat onto the power. This corner, very, very tricky. You shift the brake balance rearward a little bit, which also further goes towards overheating your rear tyres, because moving the rear brake balance backwards means that you're using more of your braking performance on your back tyres, which heats them up more, obviously. And but you've got to do that, otherwise you do lock up going into this corner. Then you make your way through that. Again, very traction limited. I'm sort of like feathering the throttle here, trying to make sure that, I don't spin out, but also I can stay on the optimal racing line. Don't crash into the barriers there like Nicholas Latifi did. And then we will have the and then you've got the final 2 corners. Again, track limits are a bit of a concern there, so the drivers should be a little bit wary. That's only where we've seen drivers get their lap times deleted, the final corner and the first corner. And that is a lap of Abu Dhabi, ladies and gentlemen. The race starts in 35 minutes. The drivers are doing their exploratory laps. They're driving around the circuit, getting a feel for the conditions, and then they'll be making their way into the pits. George Russell has asked what time is sunset. The sun is still quite bright, and then he's been told it'll just be after 5:30. So in about an hour's time or so, we will have sunset in Abu Dhabi. Okay. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We've got 12,000 people tuning into the live stream. Very much is appreciated. If you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Hopefully we can make our way towards maybe even 5,000 likes before the race gets underway. That would be, well, a new record, and I think we're going to have a record-breaking stream today as well. Who do you think wins the championship? I cannot tell you who I think is going to win the championship. I don't really know. Obviously, the odds are in Lando Norris's favour. The fact that Piastri's there as well could help him out in terms of defending, but at turn 1, lap 1, things can get turned around very fast. Timer is 33 seconds behind my guy. As well, the best way to do it is either you pause my stream or you pause what you're watching. Just get them synced up. I can't get it synced up perfectly because YouTube has a bit of broadcasting time and my data also has a little bit of a delay as well. Essentially, the reason is, of course, this footage is getting sent all around the world. It can't be sent exactly in real time. And, if I try to send it with only a 3-second delay, once we get to 40,000 people watching the stream, it starts lagging for a lot of people. So there's a bit of a delay included. But if you pause the data and sync it up in time, so, on whatever footage that you're watching, if Carlos Sainz is going through turns number 10, pause it, wait for my data to catch up, and then that's how it works like that. Can Nico Hülkenberg cook in Audi? I think he can. I think Nico Hülkenberg can do a good job in Audi. Audi, of course, developing their own engine for next year. So they will be a new engine manufacturer. And they've done some very good jobs developing engines for other motorsports. And I think that Audi will be a great contender in Formula One. Of course, it'll take some time for them to get up to speed. I have a feeling they'll have some reliability issues as well, designing those engines that will rev up to such high RPMs and things like that. But Nico Hülkenberg has got a lot of experience that can sort of guide him. The drivers not only do a lot of driving, they sort of are a sponge to knowledge, essentially. They go into the factory, talk to all of the engineers, see, they talk to the engineers, understand what they can about what the engineers are talking about, how the car works, and then they try to utilize that to their advantage during when they're driving, So I can't really think of an example off the top of my head, but you can sort of imagine the drivers will go there to the engineers and then they'll say, oh, how does exactly the brake system work here? And is there anything that I could do that will give me a little bit more performance? And then the engineers will sort of explain that and say, oh, if you shift the brake balance rearwards halfway through a corner, it'll give you a little spike in brake pressure or something like that. And that might help them out. So essentially, the drivers have a lot of inside knowledge as well, and Hülkenberg will be able to help with the development. JediFire99, thanks for the £10 donation. Good afternoon, F1 Gamer. Hope you are well. Looking forward to a fantastic send-off for DRS, Yuki and Sauber. They even got a podium. What a year it has been, and here's to 2026. Thanks for the donation, buddy. And what a season it has been. We have got a Nico Hülkenberg podium. We've got double podiums for Carlos Sainz, getting more podiums than Lewis Hamilton did. All amount of chaos has happened this season. There has been so many things that have happened, and it's been a good one. And we're here at the final race of the season, and it's all going right down to the wire. Sunlight glare will decide turn 1. Well, we'll see. I think the sun will get a little bit lower, which might even make the glare a little bit worse. F1 Gamer, did you buy a Red Bull? You said if Max wins the World Driver Championship, you'll drink a Red Bull. Yeah, I did. I've never drank a Red Bull before. I've heard that they taste quite bad. We'll see how that goes. But Max first has to win the title, which will be an interesting challenge, to say the least. Cadillac are going to be using Ferrari's engines next year. They will not be developing their own. They hope to develop their own in the future, but as of right now, they are using the Ferrari power unit. What are the drivers doing on the track? Well, they are making their way around to the starting grid. That is what the drivers are doing at this very moment in time. They'll be coming in towards the pit lane. They'll be coming in towards the starting grid and parking their cars up. They'll have the national anthem ceremony. They'll have a few interviews, and then they'll review the race strategy with their engineers, and they'll be getting into the cars for the final race of the season here in Abu Dhabi. 30 minutes left on the clock till we get underway. Okay. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. 30 minutes remain. Okay. Yeah. So, well, what have we got to talk about? Well, you've got to talk about the championship. I think, there's not really much point talking about what's going on further down the field. There's a little bit of guessing of who's going to get 7th and 8th and 9th position in the world title for the constructors. But with regards to everything else, I don't think anyone else really cares about what else is going on. And all eyes are at the top of the field. What will happen with Max Verstappen starting on the right-hand side of the grid, Lando Norris starting on the left, and Oscar Piastri starting on the right-hand side as well. So these are our race strategies, ladies and gentlemen. Starting on the medium tyres is the optimal race strategy, then going on to the hards. However, of course, if tyre wear is high, then you'll expect something slightly different, and you could potentially see strategy number 3 or maybe even strategy number 4 at play. The reason why we don't have 2 stints, strategy 5 there, start the race on the mediums, then go on to the hards in the middle stint, then go on to the mediums at the end, is mainly because the reason we don't do medium, hard is the drivers want to have the quicker tyres at the end when it may matter. At the final stint really matters. At the opening stint, it really matters. In the middle stint, not so much. So that's why I think someone asked earlier why they don't do double medium and then hard. And that is why, essentially, it's to make sure that they've got the quicker tyres at the critical phases of the race. All right, so those are our race strategies. The drivers lose 21 seconds in the pit lane with a 3-second pit stop. So if they have a 2-second pit stop, they're only going to lose 20 seconds. If they have a 4-second pit stop, they're going to lose 22 seconds, and so on and so forth. And if they pit under the safety car or the virtual safety car, they gain approximately 7 or 8 seconds by pitting, which is, well, very, very handy and helps out quite a bit. We've got a virtual safety car deploy rate of 50% in the previous 8 years of racing, and we have got the virtual safety car deploy rate at 38%. So we shall see. Out of the last 8 races here in Abu Dhabi, we have had the safety car come out, and 4 out of the previous 8 we've had the VSC. Okay. Thank you all for tuning in. We've got 13,000 people tuned into the live stream. Very much is appreciated. If you haven't smashed the like button, be sure to do so. There is a link in the description to an Instagram post and also a Twitter post. If you guys go follow the account and do a retweet or a repost or put it on your story, you're eligible to win a piece of F1 merch for next year. Whichever driver you want, I'll get in contact and we'll sort that one out. But essentially, yeah, it will really help out the channel if you guys could repost those tweets and those posts. And hopefully we can make our way towards 100k viewers for the start, for the end of this race. Brilliant. Are you going to show the real race? Unfortunately, I can't. That would be copyright, but I can show you all of the drivers going around the track, the numbers, the stats, the team radio messages, and of course the live driver standings. If any of you were here back in 2021, watched the channel when I had, I think it was 10,000 subscribers or something, you will have known what happened back then. Or, if you just watched Formula 1 in general. Nicholas Latifi started the race in 16th position. And then we had, the events that transpired in 2021. Lewis Hamilton is starting the race in 16th position today, and we will see if any sort of revenge takes place. It's highly unlikely, but of course, the memes are flying around, and we'll see how it goes. George Russell, of course, he's starting behind Lando Norris. A lot of Max Verstappen fans will be hoping that George Russell just clips Lando Norris, like Verstappen did to Piastri last year, give him a little spin, and then make the championship battle very interesting. Of course, back in 2020, Sebastian Vettel had to drive a damaged Red Bull from P20 to P6 to win the title, and maybe Lando Norris will have to do the same if certain events happen at turn number 1. And in terms of pole positions, Max Verstappen's got more poles than Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. I mean, it's frankly just incredible from the guy. All 3 of the drivers, in fact, have got 7 race wins to their name this season, and Russell has got his wins as well. This is Max Verstappen's quote after quali: "All out, I have nothing to lose." I mean, this is just making the hype way more intense. I think Max Verstappen loves playing mind games with the Red Bull, with the McLaren drivers and engineers and mechanics, because he can. He very much has a I don't care attitude, and what a great attitude to have when you're going into this final battle. Okay. So, What else? Fernando Alonso is very happy. He'll be looking at the screens. He's not going to be focusing on his race. He's actually going to be looking at the screen on the exit at turn 3. He's going to be looking at the screen at turn 5, turn 7, turn 9. He knows where all of them are, and he'll be watching to see how the championship battle is unfolding as the race is going on. You know, maybe even for Fernando Alonso, he could put himself in the championship battle and find himself up in the top 3 and the top 4. That would really spice things up, and maybe Fernando Alonso will replicate what Vitaly Petrov did to him back in 2010. Was it? Yeah, I think it was 2010. Vitaly Petrov was the driver that was holding him up, or maybe I'm remembering the wrong year. But either way, that was. Maybe Alonso will be holding someone up with a big old DRS train, of course. And this final race for DRS, we're not going to have any more DRS in 2026, so we'll find out who is the final driver to use DRS. Of course, the first one was Jenson Button, all the way back in 2011. We have... These are the stats here. In the previous 10 years, whoever has got pole position here in Abu Dhabi has gone on to win. So things look good there for Max Verstappen in terms of the winning odds. But on the reverse statistic, if you look from 2018 onwards, whichever driver won the race in the previous year's race in Abu Dhabi, they go on to win the title the following year. And it looks good there for Lando Norris. So, we shall see how it goes. Will we get a repeat of 2010 where Max Verstappen will come and win the title without leading the championship at a single race except the final one? That is exactly what Sebastian Vettel did in 2010. There was a 4-way fight for the title, and Seb Vettel did not have... had never led the championship from race 1 all the way to the final race, where he came across the line in first position and won the title. Maybe we'll have a repeat of 2007 with the two McLaren drivers losing out to Kimi Raikkonen by 1 point. That team radio was simply iconic, where it was, by my calculations, we have won the championship by 1 point. And, if that happens today and one of the drivers wins by a singular point, you can bet I'm repeating that one. Kimi Raikkonen had quite a great battle in 2007 with the two McLarens, and the two McLarens getting in each other's way and letting Kimi Raikkonen win. The story is all too similar to what we see today in 2025. Okay. Race pace looks reasonably close for the top 2, McLaren and Red Bull. George Russell's a little bit far back, but of course you take into account that Mercedes number is an average between Russell and Antonelli. Russell seems to have the pace to keep up with the McLaren drivers. We'll see how it goes. Charles Leclerc's also a little bit far back, but again, Leclerc's pace is an average of his pace and Lewis Hamilton's pace, so... yes, we will sort of take that into account, and maybe Leclerc will be up there as well. You look at the gap from the quickest team to the slowest team, and on average, Alpine is only a second slower than the championship leaders, the championship leaders McLaren. So really, really close there in terms of the overall scale of Formula One. Only 1 second between the quickest team and the slowest team, which is, going to be great. We've got 15,000 people tuning into the live stream. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Folks, you are tuning in this early. It really would help out the channel if you could smash that like button. Really would be very, very much appreciated. Okay. Let's see, what else have we got to go through? Yeah, talked about this, the pit stops, the drivers lose 21 seconds in the pits. And if we look back to last year, so what we saw was the drivers that went out on the hard tyres, on average, did around 30 laps on the hards, did on average 18 laps on the mediums, and the soft tyre number is a little bit irrelevant. I don't know, I think that was a little mistake there, because I think only one driver used the softs last year, and that was to set a fastest lap. So... approximately 30 laps on the hard tyres and 18 laps on the mediums. That is the length that we are expecting on average, at least. This season has been absolute cinema. Maybe not so much for Oscar Piastri. The first half, I would say absolute cinema. Back-to-back wins for him on multiple occasions. That was brilliant. But yes, the other thing is, where has it gone? Oh yes, these are the qualifying head-to-heads. Unfortunately, I haven't updated them since yesterday, but they are still pretty accurate. Sainz, of course, beat Alex Albon, so that is 14-10 to Carlos Sainz. Nice job there from him in this season in Williams. Bortoleto beats out Hulkenberg, so it is 12-11 to Bortoleto, so very nice job there. Wellbeing hosting, web hosting first. Thanks for the donation there. Greeting to the streamer and all viewers. Thanks for the really big donation. Very much is appreciated. Don't know what currency that is, but thank you for helping out the channel. All right. You can see here Mercedes, Kimi Antonelli gets beaten by George Russell again. The gap on average throughout the entire season was about 0.4 of a second. You look at quali and the gap was very similar as well. Norris has beaten out Piastri. Very, very close margins again. In 2023, he lost to Piastri by 31 milliseconds, I think. Piastri beat him in 2023 by 31 milliseconds. This year around, it's flipped around and there's about 20 milliseconds between the two McLarens going into Abu Dhabi. Ollie Behrman has consistently beaten Ocon, of course not on this occasion, so now it is 13 to Behrman and 9 to Ocon, but still very nicely done. And Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, 19-5. Is it a surprise? Not really. Hamilton knocked out a Q1 on 3 occasions. It's Argentinian peso. Either way, I mean, very much is appreciated, and thanks for the donation. And Fernando Alonso beat Lance Stroll 24-0. I don't know why this has only said 22, but either way, 24-0 for Fernando Alonso versus Lance Stroll. Incredible job. I don't know how he does it. At the ripe old age of, I think, 44, he is, beating Lance Stroll every single time in quali. Incredible. All right. Let's see. What else were the other ones? We have got Gasly and Colapinto. Again, Gasly wins, but, they're both down in 19th and 20th position. They just want the season to end at this point. It has not been a great season for them, and they hope that next season will be different. Okay. I mean, enough said, really, for Lewis Hamilton. I think the Lewis Hamilton fans have heard enough, and they don't want to get too many more sort of complaints about that one. Max Verstappen has always beaten his teammate here in Abu Dhabi since 2019, and since 2019 he's always had some subpar teammates as well, so that is reasonably understandable. And Lando Norris beats his teammate again at Yas Marina, so it's 6-1 versus Lando Norris versus his teammate. So that was previously, of course, Daniel Ricciardo and Carlos Sainz, but now it is Oscar Piastri. Either way, there. Good job by Lando Norris, and we're back to the starting stats again. Very nice, very nice. Okay, it looks like, folks, we're on track. We're on track for 100k live viewers. We need Nico Rosberg back. Yeah, Nico Rosberg, of course, is. Well, he's won here before. He knows how to deal with drivers who are backing you up, and that 2016 race was very exciting and very stressful for him. HP Gamers Official, thanks for the donation, and we've got another one here. Namaste 3084, thanks for the $5 donation. Thanks for the amazing season. You were my only pathway to watch Formula One. Your commentary is awesome. Thank you so much. What's the VPN to watch what's the VPN watch strat for today? Thanks for the great season. Again, thanks everyone for the donations. I mean, they're just flooding through right now. Really is appreciated, guys. And the way to watch with the VPN is where is it gone? It is the Austrian VPN server, and you search Servers TV Formula One, and that's how you do it. That is the best way to watch the Formula One coverage. It might be a little bit delayed compared to my stream, so if you just pause my stream, wait for it to catch up, and then you'll be fine. But that's the best way to watch it. All right. Oh, I mean, they've set up the drivers. They're all stood in front of. They've set Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, and Piastri in front of the World Drivers' Title trophy. And I've got to say, brilliant job. Okay. Glad that they don't do the nonsense double points. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good decision, really. They just wanted the championship to go more down to the wire, but that wasn't the best way to do it. Yeah. And big thank you to anyone that has donated. We've got, quite a few consistent donators from the start of the season till right now. And yeah, huge thank you everyone for all of the donations. You really helped out the channel immensely, and well, really helping me sort of fund my engineering degree. Yeah, it's very nice of you guys. Okay, 15 minutes remain, ladies and gentlemen. 15 minutes remain till lap number 1, turn 1. There is going to be incredible chaos. I can already feel the chaos in my veins. And yeah, oh, where are my headphones actually? I need to find out where my headphones are so I can play the F1 music in my ears, because, well, that's going to build up the hype, isn't it? I don't know where they've gone actually. Purple suit is crazy. I mean, yeah, it's purple suit for purple sector, of course. Yeah. 58 laps of racing, predicted to be one-stop strategy unless tyre wear is bad, but we'll find out about that. The circuit is especially rear limited. That's where you start to feel a lot of pain in terms of overheating and things like that. So essentially, yeah, make sure that your rear tyres are fine, and be careful in the final sector. Do a lot of short shifting. You should be okay. Service TV doesn't work, then you can try SRF. If you join a Swiss VPN server, search SRF Formula 1, then you can watch it like that. But you do need a VPN to Austria or a VPN to Switzerland, and that's how it works. Okay. What does the purple sector mean? It's the fastest out of any driver. That is what purple sector means. Track temperature is at 32 degrees Celsius, so it's reasonably hot right now. The sun is getting close to setting. I mean, in fact, it'll be setting in approximately 45 minutes time now, folks. 45 minutes, and the sun will be setting in Abu Dhabi. So halfway through the race, it's going to get a whole lot darker, and, well, that will drop the temperatures. That will mix things up. Risk of rain, 0%. Unfortunate, really, that the risk of rain is 0%, but, well, we are in a desert at the end of the day. This is why the final race of the season has to be Interlagos. Let me know, folks, which circuit do you think the final race of the circuit, which circuit do you think should be the final race of the season? Because I personally think Interlagos. I think there are a few other good options. Maybe Silverstone is a good final race of the season. It would be pretty cold here in the UK, but Interlagos or Sao Paulo would be Monaco would be a little bit boring, surely. Whoever gets pole position wins the championship. Canada's pretty nice, actually, yeah. Silverstone. We've got Rusafafron. Thanks for the £5 donation there. Chat is going by so quickly. Oh, we got a radio check here from Lance Stroll. Very nice. Belgium. Yes, Spa, actually. Spa would be pretty solid. Imagine the chaos at Spa with all of the wet races and things that we get there. And right now, I'm sure it's raining in Spa. In fact, let me check the forecast for Spa. Is it raining? Spa weather. Let's see. It is, December right now, so I would expect... chance of rain right now in Spa is 25%, and it's going up in the next hour. So, it would be a good choice in my opinion. But I need to be FIA boss for that one, Formula One management boss. So get me in there, guys. That's the hope. Okay, 18,000 people tune into live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Very much is appreciated. Oh, Monza, Hockenheim. Loads of different opportunities for drivers. Okay, so what are your predictions for turn number 1? Who do you think will be... Oh my goodness me, this is a big one. 50 euros. Thanks for the donation there, buddy. Thank you, man. Had a wonderful time following you all the live streams and being a part of this amazing crowd here. The least I can do for now. God bless. Well, thank you so much for the donations, guys, and it is tremendously appreciated. Don't feel like you have to donate, but anything that you do is very much appreciated. I don't really know what to say much past that, except a huge thank you to you all. Okay, 12 minutes now till we get underway. This cannot get any more exciting. Like, inject the Formula One into my veins right now. Track temperature's falling. It's bringing it more towards George Russell's favour, more towards Max Verstappen's favour. The hotter it is, the McLarens would do better. If the race was in the hot sunshine of the desert, then McLaren would drive off into the sunset and there would be no tomorrow. But as of right now, the temperatures are falling and the McLarens are looking, under threat from George Russell, from maybe even Charles Leclerc, from Fernando Alonso. Alonso's been giving toes to Max Verstappen for the majority of this season and also a little bit of last season. So is Nico Hülkenberg. Of course, Hülkenberg's a little bit too far back to do much. However, Fernando Alonso... may pull a Vitaly Petrov and hold off the McLarens in a big old DRS train. Okay. So, folks, with 11 minutes left to go for the start of the race, I have one request for you guys, the final request to blow up the stream before we get underway for the race. So there's a link in the description to the Instagram, to an Instagram post and to a Twitter post. If you guys repost that post or put it up on your story or anything like that, you are eligible to win a piece of F1 merch for next season. So I'll be reaching out to you and giving you guys a bit of F1 merch if you win the giveaway. So be sure to do that. That will sort of just spread the channel all around. And then the other thing is, if in the chat right now you could type, Formula One Live or Abu Dhabi Live or F1 live stream or something along the lines of what you would Google for this stream to come up. If you could type that into the chat, oh my goodness me, the YouTube algorithm is going to go like this. So very much is appreciated to anyone that does that. The links are in the description to the Instagram and the Twitter. But that is the final sort of plugging from me. I'll ask you to hit the like button every so occasionally. But now it is going to be 58 laps of the most incredible racing that we are going to witness this season. Thanks, C. Paul, for the donation. Let's get underway. If you'll type Formula One Live, if you type Abu Dhabi Live, whatever it is, type it into the chat, and let's get underway. And then after that, the chat will sort of calm down a bit, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, also, tyre information is going to come through in about 2 or 3 minutes now, tyre information. So I am expecting top 3 drivers at least on medium tyres. Sonoda, however, is going to be on the hard. So quickly, to go over the Red Bull strategy of what they're going to use Sonoda to do is, let's fast forward a little bit. Where has it gone? Oh, I can't, okay, here we go. The Red Bull strategy is, so here you see, right, so the pit strategy for the McLarens, if they start the race on a set of medium tyres, what will happen is they have to pit lap number 20 to lap number 25. If Yuki Tsunoda starts the race on the harder tyres, he'll have to pit lap number 40 approximately. So the job for Yuki Tsunoda is to stay within 21 seconds of the McLaren drivers. So when the McLarens come into the pits to change tyres, they will come out behind Yuki Tsunoda. Tsunoda will, of course, be on the hard tyres, and the McLarens will probably be on fresh hards, but Tsunoda, in that situation, will have 100% battery. He will get Strat 7, which is all-out attack mode in the Red Bull, the Honda power unit. Strat 7, folks. So if you see that over the radio messages, that's what you know. That's what you know is going to happen, right? Yuki Tsunoda will be going maximum attack, and he'll have all of his overtake button to deploy and do absolutely everything that he can to hold off the McLaren drivers. So let's wait and see how it goes, and that is, I think, what is going to happen, but we will see as the tyre information comes through shortly. We have 8 minutes left to go to the start of the race. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Really is appreciated, and I am going to turn on slow mode because, chat is going just a little bit too wild. Okay. Here we go, boys. Boogity, boogity, boogers. Let's go racing. 7 minutes now, then we'll have the formation lap, then we will get underway for the final race of the season here in Abu Dhabi. Frenchie, thanks for the donation. Larry, how can I reach out to you for a collab? If you send me a DM on Instagram, that might work. Or my email is gamerf1.yt5@gmail.com. If you send me an email there, that's probably much easier. But yeah, gamerf1.yt5@gmail.com. Yeah. Okay, so here we go, 7 minutes. It's going to be very, very close between a one-stop and two-stop. Track temperature, 31 degrees. Air temperature, 27 degrees. Humidity at 55. The driver's going to be feeling the heat. The McLaren driver's going to be feeling their nerves. And there is going to be butterflies left, right, and center on the starting grid. Will we have some anti-stall? Will, one of the McLaren drivers try to play it a little bit too safe off the line with the clutch and anti-stall? Race over, game over, who knows what will happen. Should they add the chicane for future racing to turn 5? No, I think this way it's quite good because you get a big braking opportunity, right? When the chicane, you're only braking from, I'd say, about 5th gear or maybe 6th gear down to 3rd, so it wasn't that great for racing. So I think this format is much nicer. But thanks for the donation. They're not so clean. Okay. All right, let's see what is going to happen. What are your predictions, folks? I want to hear your predictions in the chat of what's going to happen in turn number 1. Will Yuki Tsunoda send one from 10 cars back? Will Verstappen drive off into the distance? Are we going to see George Russell pull off a ridiculous move? Only time will tell, so let's wait and see. Nicholas, thanks for the donation. Thanks for the F1 coverage this year as a Red Bull employee. Go Max. Oh, as a Red Bull employee. Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, if you reach out to my email, maybe we could sort out an interview or something like that, depending on what you're sort of doing at the Red Bull team. And that's pretty cool. We got a Red Bull employee watching the stream. Hello, Red Bull. Well, I go, hello, Formula One. Hello, the world, actually. 25,000 people watching from all corners of the world. Hello, hello. Welcome along to the coverage. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. We are here at sunset in Abu Dhabi. 5 minutes till we get underway for the start of the final race of the season here in 2025. 3 drivers are up for contention for the World Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. That is their order on the grid. In terms of order of points, we have got Norris in first, Verstappen in second and Oscar Piastri in third position. Norris, if he finishes up on the podium, he wins the title no matter what. Nothing can stop him from winning the title if he finishes on the podium. Max Verstappen needs to win the race and Norris goes down into 4th position or lower, and that will secure the deal for him. As predicted, ladies and gentlemen, hard tyres for Yuki Tsunoda, mediums for Max and Norris, but Piastri on the hards, the alternate strategy for Oscar Piastri. This could be catastrophic off the race start because Piastri will have worse traction. He will have at least a 6-meter disadvantage compared to George Russell because he is on those hard tyres. They are not as grippy. They are not as quick off the line. Way harder to get up to temperature. And that means Russell could go up into second and Verstappen starts playing the backing up game. Piastri's got to try something different. Something has to go crazy for Piastri to win this to win the championship, and that is exactly what he is trying. He's starting the race on the hards, Norris on the mediums, Verstappen on the mediums as well, and Yuki Tsunoda on the hards, going to play Max Verstappen's wingman. He is going to do as much defensive work as he can, try to emulate Sergio Perez from 2021, and then he'll, of course, if he does so, then he'll get the nickname of the Japanese Minister of Defense. But welcome to Abu Dhabi. We have got 5.4 kilometers of a racetrack here, 58 laps of racing, 300 kilometers in total. Over the course of the entire season, we have had 7,000 kilometers of racing in 20 different countries, in 5 different continents, and it all comes down to today. The next 2 hours will determine who wins the world title. 3 minutes remain, and we will get underway for the formation lap very, very soon. Further down the field, we've got Hamilton, Albon and Hülkenberg on softs. They're looking to do some sort of double stop strategy. Clearly, there's no way they're going to be able to pull that one off unless they go really, really long on the hard tyres. DRS has been disabled, folks. It will get enabled on lap number 1 on the second lap of this race, sorry. And, well, let's get going. Okay, I'm going to have a quick sip of water and, well, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to switch it over to this configuration here. Let's move the race timer just over here. And over to the left of me, you can see the championship standings. So if Max is in P1 and Norris is in last position, this will change around. So whoever here is in first position, when everyone comes across the line, that is the driver that wins the title. Race begins in 2 minutes' time. Okay. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. What's it going to be? Today is the day, folks. Today is the day. The front row, of course, Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. Then we have got Oscar Piastri and George Russell on the second row of the grid. All of the drivers with odd numbers are starting on the right-hand side of the grid. All of the drivers with the even numbers starting on the left-hand side. The even numbers means that you have the inside line going in towards turn number 1. Of course, the right-hand side means you have the outside line, but, well, you start ever so slightly ahead of your competition. All right, so here we go, folks. My second laptop is actually lagging because the chat is going through so quickly. So thanks everyone for all the donations, all the chat messages. Orphan, thanks for the donation there, buddy. McLaren make contact. Oscar needs to get a new front wing. Lando gets a puncture. Max drives off into the sunset. Well, thanks for the prediction. Let's see how it turns out. Only 2 minutes now till the race begins. 1 minute till the formation lap. 2 minutes till the race start. 37,000 people tune into live stream, folks. Smash that like button. Hopefully, you can hit 10,000 likes already. That'd be incredible. We're going for 100k live, folks. 100,000 live viewers. That's the aim. Smash that like button. Let's go racing. Okay. Yeah, here we go then. 58 laps, and well, you can see here they're coming over the radio. 45 seconds to George Russell, 1 minute to Max Verstappen, and race starts in 30 seconds. In fact, you know what? Let's get rid of this countdown timer. The engineers are moving off to the side. In fact, they've been given the thumbs up. They're all off to the side of the circuit. The lights are coming on, and the formation lap is about to get underway here in Yas Marina. Okay. Well, this is it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had a fantastic season so far, and let's go racing for the final time in Abu Dhabi. Let's have a great race, and may the best man win. Okay, timer has just started ticking down, and we have got the green lights. The formation lap is underway. Max Verstappen leads them off the front, and then comes Norris and Piastri. DJ... Dopamine, thanks for the donation. Thank you so much. Entering the F1 world was so much easier with you. Appreciate it, folks. Appreciate it. Thanks everyone for the donations. Huge, huge help. The tyre strategy for today: start on the mediums, then go on to the hards. Pit between lap number 20 and 26. The hard tyres can go till around lap number 40, at which point you'll pit, go out onto the soft tyres, and go to the end of the race. We'll see how that works out for the drivers, but Yuki Tsunoda is going to be playing Max Verstappen's wingman as much as he possibly can, and Oscar Piastri has got to hope for some chaos. Norris has been told just remember to press overtake, so it's not that easy, of course, just pressing the overtake button and winning the race, but well, Norris has been told press overtake. We'll see how it goes. All right. Well, folks, we're nearly hitting 10,000 likes. That is incredible. Thanks all for tuning in. Link in the description for some... for an Instagram post and a Twitter post. If you repost it on your story or retweet it or whatever it is, you get entered into a giveaway for some F1 merch. So go ahead and do that. My phone is cracking off the way with so many vibrations, and yeah, I'm going to put it on silent. But all right, let's go. Okay, so Max Verstappen through the final sector, weaving left, right, building up the brake temperature as well. That's going to be very important. You don't want cold brakes going in towards turn number 1. Very easy to lock up or just to go wide, off onto the dirty part of the circuit, and you ruin your opening lap. And lots of burnouts as well. The drivers were doing burnouts to make sure the temperatures for the rear tyres are good. Banana Goat, thanks for the donation. Let's get it. And indeed, let's absolutely go for some racing, ladies and gentlemen. Final 2 corners now for the formation lap, and tyres are getting warm, and we are getting underway for the final race of the season. Max versus Norris versus Piastri for the world title. 16 points is the gap between Piastri and Norris. 12 points is the gap between Verstappen and Norris, and well, let's see what the drivers can do. Piastri's been told to do his little burnouts as he comes out of the final corner, and then they're putting their clutch settings in, and we are getting ready for the start of the race. Let's see what Verstappen does. Does he angle his car to the left a little bit? I think he has. Verstappen's done it again. He's angled his car over to the left. He's trying to try and chop across. Oh my God, that is so aggressive. Verstappen, aim 1, chop across Lando Norris. He's tilted it so much. This is going to be an incredible race start. Let's go for some racing, ladies and gentlemen. The final few cars are approaching the grid. They've put in the clutch settings. They've put purple position 6 for the McLarens. That is what they want for the race start. 58 laps of racing here in Abu Dhabi. 300 kilometers. Well, let's see who decides this race. Okay, here we go. Verstappen is lined up on the grid. The final 2 Alpines are approaching on their set of medium tyres. They have approached the back of the grid. The sunset is happening in Abu Dhabi. And here we go. All of the lights are flashing. The green flag is waving. And we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. It's go, go, go. Great start for Max Verstappen. Already ahead of Lando Norris in towards turn number 1. Chops right across him. Fernando Alonso looks to the inside. Has a great start going up against Charles Leclerc. But it's Verstappen, then Norris, then Piastri. Charles Leclerc hangs on to 4th position. Fernando Alonso in 5th. And the top 3 stay as they were. George Russell losing 2 positions off there, and Leclerc takes the inside line, getting very close to Piastri actually, and now it's a drag race down towards turn number 5. No DRS on this lap, and Piastri's getting close. Is he going to send one to the inside of Norris? And here they go. Norris really defensive. Alonso to the outside, Piastri to the outside as well, and Norris hangs on, but it's a switchback from Oscar Piastri, a switchback of dreams, and he's got onto the power. What traction from him, and he's slipstreaming his teammate in towards turn number 9. Fernando Alonso against Charles Leclerc, and to the inside goes Lando Norris, to the outside goes Oscar Piastri. He swoops round the outside. What a move from Oscar Piastri. P2 ahead of his teammate. No team orders there for Oscar Piastri. Fernando Alonso just loses out to Charles Leclerc. 5th position for him on the opening lap of this race, but Verstappen is only 7/10 clear of Oscar Piastri, but it's getting bigger. It's already over a second, and Verstappen is doing exactly what he needs to do. He needs to build the gap, except does he? He needs to back up Lando Norris. If Norris finishes in 3rd position, he wins the championship by 2 points. He needs to back them up. DRS has been enabled. Verstappen 1.3 seconds clear. Charles Leclerc, however, is right on Norris's tail, and he is looking extremely racy. Norris, no DRS from his teammate. Piastri is driving off onto the sunset on slower tyres. Incredible job by Piastri so far, and Lando Norris in 3rd position, under threat from Charles Leclerc and Fernando Alonso behind him. DRS on this occasion is open, an extra 15 kilometers per hour for that Ferrari engine, for the Ferrari car. Leclerc is pressing K1, Fernando Alonso is pressing overtake, and now in towards turns number 6 they go, and Leclerc, it's very close. Norris gets a little bit of a twitch on the exit, and Leclerc is gaining. Again, another DRS zone. Norris is charging up his battery, and Leclerc gets extremely close. Does he send one to the inside? Not on this occasion. And the 3rd and 4th position stay just as they were. Further down the grid, Liam Lawson up 2 positions up into 11th place, and we have got a big DRS train forming behind Lando Norris. And Max Verstappen, it looks like he's going to set a fastest lap of the race. Okay, I don't know when Verstappen is going to start the backing up process, but, well, we'll see how it goes. Lewis Hamilton gets ahead of Carlos Sainz, of course, the driver who he replaced at Ferrari. Nice job there from Lewis, even though Sainz was purple in Sector 2 with that big toe. And, well, here they go. We've got 60,000 people tuning in. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Smash that like button. Really helps out the algorithm if you're enjoying the commentary. And Charles Leclerc is at risk of losing DRS here. He makes his way through turn number 4, and he's within the 10th. He is within a 10th of what he needed to be. Max Verstappen, a fastest lap of the race. Piastri in P2 and Norris in P3. Charles Leclerc now. Again, attack 2, round 2 for Charles, and he is getting close, and we'll see what he can do. Let's see, down in towards turns number 6, and Russell says, check my brake pedal, my brake is going long. Russell could have some brake issues here actually. That's normally a sign of if your brake pedal starts moving too much, signs of brake issues, and Alonso's having to defend against George Russell actually. Leclerc is getting dangerously close, but yeah, Norris just able to hang on. If Norris has the slightest twitch of the rear end, Leclerc is right there and he's overtaking him. He doesn't care. Leclerc needs a podium to end out the season. Not the start Lando was after. I mean, Verstappen immediately cut across him, and also the other thing was Verstappen, the lights went out super quick. Like went to 5 lights, and then immediately they went out as well. So I don't know if all the drivers were ready for it, but Verstappen certainly was, and chopped right across. He did. Okay, now they make their way through turns number 1. Verstappen in the lead, and he goes 4/10 slower than his best lap. Verstappen's already in tyre conservation mode, and now Charles Leclerc, is he going to get close to Lando Norris as they cross through the DRS detection point again? This time, he is a 1/10.5 closer to Lando Norris than he was on the previous lap. Is that going to help him out? Indeed it will. Leclerc is also taking a slightly different line through turn number 4. He's taking a much more inside line to reduce the dirty air effect, and it works to fantastic effect. He opens the DRS, and now he is gaining on Lando Norris. George Russell is about to get ahead of Fernando Alonso, sends it to the inside. Alonso not too fussed. He just needs to keep Aston Martin in, I think it's 7th position for the Constructors' battle. George Russell takes P5, and Charles Leclerc, he's gaining and in towards turn number 7. Can he send a move to the inside? He's 1/10 back. Norris goes defensive, Leclerc to the outside, and Leclerc is getting really, really close here. And yeah, Norris had to go defensive on that occasion, and on the next lap, it might get even more close. The question is, can Leclerc maintain the gap through Sector 3? That is the problematic sector. That is where all of the drivers lose so much time to the dirty air. And yeah, we'll see what Leclerc can do. He's now 6/10 back through that sector. Look, he lost half a second in the sector because of the dirty air. Further back, there was an incident between Hamilton and Albon leaving the track and gaining an advantage. That's been noted. No further investigation between Colapinto for the start procedure infringement. Okay. And, well, here they go now. Lap number 5 of 58. Thank you all for tuning in, folks. Smash the like button. Very much would be appreciated if you haven't already. And, well, yeah, be sure to subscribe and all of the good stuff if you are enjoying the coverage. We might already be approaching the biggest live stream on YouTube, which is absolutely mega. So thanks, everyone, for hitting the like button and tuning in. We got a big old DRS train, choo-choo, from George Russell all the way down to Pierre Gasly, from 5th position to 19th, 14-car DRS train, great way to send it off. And Charles Leclerc, on this occasion, has dropped out of DRS of Lando Norris. He does get it back, though, actually. Norris, not the greatest exit out of turn number 7, and Leclerc just gets DRS, just hangs on. And we'll see how that goes for him. When will Max Verstappen start the backing up process? Let's see. But look, folks, the key number that you want to look at, you have to take away 2 numbers here. So you look at Yuki Tsunoda's number here. That is approximately 9 seconds. Norris's is 3.6. So when you take away those 2 numbers, the gap between Norris and Tsunoda is approximately 5 seconds or 6 seconds. If that gap goes over 21 seconds, the Yuki Tsunoda defense strategy does not work. If the gap stays under 21 seconds, then Tsunoda can defend as much as his heart content against the McLarens, and we'll see how that works out. We've hit 10k likes, incredible. I mean, 10k likes was a record that took an entire 3-hour stream to get to. It looks like we might even hit, let's say 15k, why not? Thanks everyone for tuning in. All right, 65,000 people on the stream. Lando Norris, personal best lap time, still a 10th slower than Piastri. I don't know how he's doing this, actually, because Piastri's on the hards, and what incredible pace he's got on the hards as well. Like, Verstappen is off in the distance, but Piastri should theoretically be 3/10 slower on the hards compared to the mediums, but apparently not. He's just said, screw you, I decide my pace, and he's going quicker than Lando Norris. Okay. Pierre Gasly lap time deleted, Hulkenberg lap time deleted, Lawson lap time deleted for exceeding track limits at turn number 1. Gasly exceeded track limits at turn number 6. Okay. Leclerc again with DRS and again trying to overtake Lando Norris. On this occasion, again too far back. However, you know, Leclerc's battery is going to start to run out. His tires are going to start to overheat, and it may be a few issues there. Yeah. Maybe a few issues for him. Also, the data is having a bit of a pause here and there, but I do apologize for that one. Okay. So we are here on lap number 6 of 58. 53 laps remain of this race. Of course, everyone is yet to do at least 1 pit stop. Most likely, we're going to be having 2 pit stops. And yeah, the race strategy for the medium tire runners, pit between lap number 20 and 26. That is the strategy. That is the aim. They've come over the ready to Max. This is good, Max. They basically told him, Max, you're doing a good job. We may wish just to go longer, just to keep on top. Okay, so essentially, they're trying to go for the go long strategy, and, well, we'll see how it works out for them. Charles Leclerc again within DRS range here of Lando Norris. So now, through turn number 5 they go. Norris again taking his slightly better, Leclerc taking a slightly better inside line to avoid the dirty air. Works out all right, and well, here he is gaining on Lando Norris. Can he get that advantage that he so desperately wants? He throws a tear off into the side, and, well, he's 6/10 back from Lando Norris, practically pushing him through the chicane of turns number 6. And again. Now he's gaining and gaining, but is it good enough for Charles Leclerc in towards turn number 9? Unfortunately not. He is, unfortunately for the Ferrari fans, that third position, that podium is a little bit far away from them right now. Lando Norris is holding on there in P3. Come on, Charles, overtake Norris. It looks like we've got quite a lot of Max Verstappen fans here, and fair enough. There's an incident between Behrman and Lawson that's been noted. Further down the field, quickly I'll just run through. Hamilton's up 3 positions. Of course, he's on soft, so that makes sense. Lawson's up 2. Hadjar's up 1. And we have Albon also up 2 positions. Biggest loser, Kimi Antonelli, losing out 3 places. He, of course, started the race on the hards. Not ideal, but that is okay at the end of the day. Okay, Charles Leclerc still, however, staying within that 8/10 margin. He's waiting for a mistake here to come out of Lando Norris. Oh, the data's just caught up to itself. Very nice. And yeah, here comes Lando Norris now in towards turn number 5. And he is, well, what's that? 8/10 back. So it's still too far back. Essentially what he needs is a mistake from Norris going through turn number 7, a bad exit, and that would work. And that would be enough to get ahead. But Norris being pretty flawless, to be honest. He's been pretty flawless most of the season, if you look at it. Nico Hülkenberg, first driver into the pit lane. Hülkenberg pulling off the biggest one-stop strategy that we've ever seen. It looks like he might try to do 51 laps on a set of hard tyres. We'll see how it goes. Some safety car laps will, of course, help him out. Charles Leclerc, very, very close, but not close enough. And Exoteric, thanks for the donation. F1 Gamer can't stick around. I got a coffee date, but wouldn't miss it for a double Williams podium. Just want to say congrats on the channel. Thanks for keeping me sane at work. Thank you for all of the donations, folks. I'm missing a few of them. Talking about Yuki helping Max, what can Liam and Isaac possibly do if they go long? Well, let's see. Hadjar's on hard. He's also there with Tsunoda, and Liam is also there. So they could all work as a triple defense if they wanted to. It would be frowned upon, and there are rules against that. So I don't think that would happen. But, if the rules weren't there, then Hadjar, Tsunoda, and Lawson could form the wall. They could form a wall, and an impenetrable wall at that. Just drive 3 wide along the entire circuit. Who knows? Okay. Oh, Hamilton's into the pits. Yeah, those soft tyres don't last particularly long when you've got 100 kilograms of fuel in the car. So Hamilton into the pits and changed tyres, and so does Alex Albon. Lando Norris, purple in the first sector. He's broken DRS to Charles Leclerc, and now his aim is to catch up to his teammate. The gap 1.6 seconds as of right now. Tsunoda's got a lap time deleted for track limits at turn number 1. Tsunoda did it yesterday in quali, and he's got to be careful here. Otherwise, things might go badly for him. Hülkenberg, fastest in the final sector. Great pace from him. Of course, fresh set of hard tyres, and that gives him all the ability to push that he wants. And he comes out just ahead of Alex Albon. Nice pit stop there from the Sauber crew. And again, Hülkenberg, fastest in sector 1. Looked like he's a man on a mission, and he was deploying all of his overtake mode there. Charles Leclerc, again, Norris breaks DRS and then and falls back into it, actually. He must be making some sort of mistake out of turn 7, because Leclerc's doing an incredible job of holding on. And Leclerc is doing quite nicely there. Okay, apologies for the data slightly glitching out. It should sort itself out in a few moments, but let's continue on for now. All right, Verstappen is leading the way, 2 seconds clear of Oscar Piastri. Norris 1.7 seconds back, and Leclerc is 1 second back, just within margin. And then Russell P5, Alonso P6, Bortoletto P7, Hadjar 8th, Ocon 9th, Tsunoda 10th, and Hülkenberg might be saying the fastest lap of the race here. Purple sector 1, purple sector 2. He's now stuck behind Hamilton for sector 3, but let's see. Okay. Here we go. Lap number 10 of 58. The pit stop window is approaching for the soft tyre runners. The soft tyre runners have already pit, but for the medium tyre runners, we'll be pitting between lap number 18 and lap number 20, or lap number 26. So 18 to 26, that's when you can expect the medium tyres coming in. We are seeing quite a bit of tyre wear. You can see over the radios a few drivers struggling, and Russell saying, our pace is starting to drop, and things like that. Verstappen has got graining, so they've come over the radio. Actually, Verstappen, even though Verstappen's in clean air, he's been in clean air since turn 1, he is still suffering from graining issues, and we could be looking at a 2-stop. Tsunoda's been coached over the radio how to brake in towards turn number 9 and turn 16, brake a little bit later, and hoping that he can stay within pit stop margin of the McLarens, and ensure that he can do his job as Mexican Minister of Defense. That is going to be an ever-looming threat for the McLaren team. In the next 10 to 15 laps, they are coming into the pit lane, and it will happen, and Tsunoda may or may not be there to cause a whole lot of issues and a whole lot of headaches for the for the McLaren team. Charles Leclerc is still hanging on to that DRS. He's got some incredible pace in that Ferrari. If they were to do an undercut, then Ferrari would come out on top. Thanks for the donation there, Mad Cow. Thanks for single-handedly bringing us the excitement of the season. Very much is appreciated there, buddy. And thanks for the huge donation. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, sorry, I can't read through everyone's messages, but big thank you to everyone. Yeah, Leclerc, the fact that he can hold on for DRS for so long, 10 laps, even staying with the McLarens, sitting in that dirty air, means that the Ferrari, at least Leclerc, has got more pace than Lando Norris. And if Ferrari were to do an undercut and were to get ahead of Norris somehow, then Leclerc would probably hang on to P3 or hang on to the position, whatever position it is. So Leclerc's got a brilliant pace, and Hamilton not so much, but he's on a different strategy, of course. Purple first sector, actually, for Lewis Hamilton. Okay, the DRS train has very much shortened down. We're going from 8th position down into 15th position, but a smaller DRS train is still a DRS train, and a great send-off for the final race of DRS. Verstappen a little bit off in his own world, 2 seconds clear of Piastri. Piastri 2 seconds clear of Norris, and Leclerc is, well, within margin here, and it's just gone over the 1 second barrier. Okay, Lando needs one more place down for Max to secure the championship. That is correct. However, if Norris is down in 4th position and Piastri is up in 2nd, they'll basically just tell Piastri, mate, slow down, let both of the drivers by, let Norris finish up in P3. That is what will happen over the radio, and Piastri will have to do it. I mean, it would be incredible to see him to not do it, just disregard team orders and papaya rules. However, the mess of McLaren next year, he would have to deal with the exact same engineers that he has essentially thrown away a championship for if he was to do that. So I don't think he would do it. But yeah, Piastri is McLaren's saving grace as of right now. The drivers lose 21 seconds in the pit lane, folks. So if it's a 3-second pit stop, the drivers lose 21 seconds. Apologies for the data jumping around a little bit. I really do apologize. I mean, the servers are very much under load here. You've got, pretty much everyone who watches Formula One watching the race. So I do apologize for that. But thanks everyone for tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button already, be sure to do so. And the final thing, we're up to 70,000 live. This is what we had. This is my channel record. Most number of people watching live. If you guys could smash the like button, that would very much be appreciated. There's also a link in the description to Instagram and Twitter. There's a post. If you repost it or retweet it, you get entered into a giveaway for a piece of F1 merch next year. So go ahead and do that. It helps out the channel. But we're here, lap number 12 of 58, and the pit stop windows are fast approaching, and Yuki Tsunoda is well within range of Japanese Minister of Defense. Yeah. Oscar Piastri is doing an incredible job on these hard tyres, but he does have to make it to lap number 50. That is the big thing. If he can make it to lap 50 or lap 45 or so, then he can box onto a set of softs, go to the end of the race with a fresh set of softs. That would be incredible, the overtaking potential there. But yeah, the stint that he's doing on the hards is world class as of right now, because you've got to imagine, if Verstappen comes into the pits at around lap 26, say, he's going to be on hard tyres right at the end of the race, which are really worn out, whereas Piastri will be out on a set of fresher, soft tyres at the end of the race, which means that Piastri might be able to overtake, close that gap up, and we'll see how it goes. But that's what Piastri is hoping for, at least. Or maybe a safety car towards the end in his favour, and that'll gain him a lot of lap time for free as well. Charles, you can do it. Well, look, Charles is now 1.5 seconds back. The Ferrari has pace, but you can't endlessly sit in dirty air. It's going to ruin your tyres, especially at a really limited circuit like this. Verstappen suffering from graining, even though he's in clean air, and he's just been told, McLaren have just told Lando over the radio saying Verstappen's tyres are worse and they're more thermally limited than ours. So, it's a tough time out there for the rear tyres in the final sector. I'm really jumbling up my words now, but I really do appreciate everyone tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to do that. Actually, you know what? Let's try. So let's see if we can hit 227k subscribers on the next time. So when Verstappen hits the DRS, when Verstappen hits this point here, if you haven't hit the subscribe button already, press subscribe when Verstappen drives over to this point, and we're going to see if we can gain more than 2,000 subscribers in less than 30 seconds. That's the aim. That'll break a record. But anyway, back to the race. 5-second time penalty for Liam Lawson for driving erratically. I didn't see exactly that, but I feel like he was being a bit aggressive when he was defending against Esteban Ocon and Tsunoda, and right now he is defending against them. So Liam Lawson driving erratically. I haven't seen that penalty in a while, but not ideal for the Kiwi, and that's going to drop him quite back. Going to drop him back quite a few places, and looks like Verstappen's just come across there, and we are tremendously going up in terms of the numbers of subscribers. Very much is appreciated, folks. And, well, maybe we'll break that record, maybe we won't. But we are the biggest live stream on YouTube. Okay. Leclerc 1.5 seconds back from Lando Norris, and it's lap number 14 of 58. The first of the medium tyre runners come into the pits. Pierre Gasly is the first driver on the medium tyres. He's into the pit lane, and well, we'll see what his lap times look like on those hard tyres, but that's a very early pit stop there on the mediums, and it's going to be a very long stint, shall we say, on those hards for Gasly to the end of this race. It's going to be a very long season, to be honest, for Pierre Gasly, so yeah, we'll see how that one works out for him. Piastri's gaining a little bit, actually. Piastri oh my goodness me, Piastri is 1.8 seconds back from Verstappen, and the gap between Verstappen and Piastri is actually, Piastri and Norris has got bigger. It used to be 2 seconds, it's now 3.3. George Russell into the pits. This could trigger a sequence of undercuts here, ladies and gentlemen. Russell really mixing things up, because now Leclerc does not want to get undercut by George Russell, so now it's pit time for Leclerc maybe, and maybe also for Norris. We'll see how it goes. Piastri purple in Sector 1. The guy's on hard tyres, for crying out loud. How is he going purple in Sector 1? Oscar Piastri most certainly is back, but it's just a little bit too late right now, isn't it? And thanks for the donation there, LJ the man. Three-way fight looks interesting. Indeed it does. We'll see if Leclerc comes into the pits now on the next lap. Keep an eye out on his radio. But Russell is behind us. He's came into the pits. Oh, they've told box to Leclerc. I think they've told Leclerc to box. So that means that Leclerc is a potential undercut threat to Norris. Norris will be forced to box and come out in traffic behind Tsunoda, which would be, well, yeah, let's see. Let's see what Leclerc does. Let's see if McLaren worry about it, or if they keep their flexibility in terms of strategy and totally fumble everything up. But Charles Leclerc, at least what I saw, is that he got told to box. Or maybe they were telling him that Russell was boxing. But they've just said copy plan A to Charles Leclerc. Let's see. He makes his way through turn number 14 and 15. Does he peel off into the pit lane? No, he does not. Charles Leclerc continues on. No pit stop for Charles Leclerc. And, well, it's, yeah, he stays out. So we'll see what the Ferrari team are doing, but I guess plan A is plan A for I'm a bad strategist. That's such a bad line. But we'll see. Maybe they will get undercut though, because Russell's out in traffic. Russell's behind Colapinto. Ideally, Russell should have come out ahead of Colapinto, but it might have been a slightly slow stop for the Mercedes team, and that's why he's stuck behind Colapinto. Should get past him very easily, but it's just costing him lap time, to be honest. Yeah. All right, Colapinto into the pits, Bortoletto into the pits. Russell gets some clean air, and now he's got about 7 seconds to push and catch up to his teammate Kimi Antonelli. Okay. Let's see, now the pit stops are coming in. These are relatively early, so a lot of drivers complaining about tyre wear issues, and basically, if we're getting tyre wear issues now, that means it might be a two-stop, more pit stops, more opportunities to mess up. The McLaren pit crew haven't been amazing. This season, they've had quite a few issues. Maybe that'll cause some problems later down the line. George Russell, purple first sector. It looks like he is going to undercut Charles Leclerc if they're not careful. So Leclerc the Ferrari team better look out at their strategy. Russell and Antonelli and Stroll have got DRS up on Sainz, and Sainz, in fact, under pressure here from Lance Stroll. Stroll goes round the outside, and nice move there from Stroll. Alonso's been told to box as well, and I suspect he'll be coming into the pits very soon. Oh, someone's into the pits. Is that Lando Norris? Norris into the pit lane, ladies and gentlemen. The data's frozen, but Norris is into the pits, and so is Charles Leclerc. Is it a quick stop for the McLaren crew? Indeed, it is. 3 pit stops on the same lap, and we get Charles Leclerc out for 2.5. Lando Norris a 2.1 second stop. Great job there, and And, well, where does Norris come out? Is it ahead of Tsunoda? Is it behind Tsunoda? Here comes Tsunoda through turns number 1 and 2. And, well, Lando Norris is behind him. Lando Norris is in a whole bunch of traffic. Wait, is he behind George Russell? Is he? He is. McLaren have totally screwed at this. Oh, no, it's Antonelli. Oh, I totally... Apologies there, folks. Norris is ahead of Russell. I confused the two Mercedes cars. Apologies for the heart attack if you're a McLaren fan. Yeah, McLaren have pitted early. Norris is in a net P3 as of right now. Russell is pushing and trying to get ahead of Charles Leclerc. Leclerc's got cool tyres, and Yuki Tsunoda is there in P4. How many seconds ahead is he of Lando Norris? Approximately 5 seconds ahead. So it is activate plan, back them up. That's what the plan is right now for for Yuki Tsunoda. It is back them up as much as he can. He's on hard tires, which means he can go on for another 20 laps or so. So it is he is now the Japanese Minister of Defense. Norris is behind Antonelli and could be causing some problems here. Russell trying to get ahead of Leclerc. Leclerc now, the car dancing around on the slightly colder tyres. He needs to get them up to temperature quickly. Russell's are already up to temperature, and Russell is approaching very, very close now. And, well, Antonelli and Norris in towards turns number 16, and Norris is now looking to the inside. And what's going on there with Norris's front wing? That looks a little bit strange. I don't know if you guys saw that. Was there a little bit of glitching out going on in Norris's front wing? If that was not moving under braking, I don't know what it is. So Russell's complaining over the radio. A surprise? Not really. All right, and Antonelli, how hard is he going to defend? Oh my goodness me, Lando Norris pulls off the 2021 move from Max Verstappen, sends one to the inside, turn 5, gets ahead of Antonelli, also has the DRS, but Antonelli's got the DRS to slipstream him back. They go in towards turn number 6. Antonelli to the inside nearly crashes into the back of Norris, and both of them move under braking. Who gets the better exit? That is the question, and it looks like it's just Lando Norris. He's got a slipstream from the Williams ahead of Carlos Sainz, and Sainz helps him out there. Norris to the inside, overtakes Carlos Sainz, and that is bish bash bosh ahead of Antonelli and Sainz for Lando Norris in towards turn number 9. Okay. Yeah, so Norris is in P7, and, well, he is fast approaching Yuki Tsunoda, ladies and gentlemen. Stroll is on the back of Liam Lawson, battling away, but Lando Norris fast approaching Yuki Tsunoda. This is bad news for the McLaren pit crew. Apologies, folks, for the data glitching out a little bit. We have got 75,000 people tuned into the live stream. There are probably 1 million people looking for the data on the server right now, so it's lagging a little bit. But I think things are going all right for now. 76,000 people tuned into the live stream. Very much is appreciated. If you carry on hitting that like button, the subscribe button, it really helps out the algorithm. And hopefully, we can make our way towards 20,000 likes and 100k live viewers. That would be absolutely world-shattering. Okay, well, here comes Lando Norris. He's onto the back of Lance Stroll already, and Lando Norris is making very light work of Stroll, and they're both in a DRS drag race in towards turn number 5. Lando Norris sends it to the inside of Liam Lawson, a double overtake in 2 corners, and Lando Norris is cutting his way through traffic, but now he is approaching Yuki Tsunoda. Oh my goodness me. What is going on there? Oh, Liam Lawson, is he going to try and re-overtake him in towards turn number 9? Liam Lawson with a DRS, the slipstream round the outside. See you later, says Liam Lawson. And can he hold it on? Not. Oh, Norris just gets ahead. He barely cuts across Lawson's front wing. But a great attempt there from Liam Lawson. But Norris just gets ahead of him. And the gap now, 3.7 seconds. Oh my goodness me. What can Yuki Tsunoda do? Can he back up Lando Norris? Can he do what Sergio Perez did in 2021 to help Max get the title? Will Tsunoda be able to replicate Sergio Perez? Look at the radio messages for Tsunoda. If it says Strat 7, that means it is maximum attack. Strat 7 is maximum attack, and he'll probably have overtake button as well, but that's the Honda engine mode, and that is, yeah, that's the way forward. For Yuki Tsunoda, that's the way for Max Verstappen. That is the only thing that they can rely on now. All right, boys, here we go. 80,000 people tuning into live stream. Thanks all for tuning in. Hope you're all enjoying the coverage. And this race is coming right down to the wire now. It hangs on the shoulders of Yuki Tsunoda. Can he do what Perez did? Can he help Max Verstappen get his 5th world title? The scenes would be absolutely monumental if he can do so. But we're on lap number 20 of 58. Tsunoda's got another 20 laps worth of tyre life in his tyres. He has got 100% battery charge, and he will have Strat 7 available to him. Yuki will be his easiest pass. Maybe, folks, maybe. We shall see. The memes have all been building up to this moment, and, well, Norris will know he has to be careful. Norris will know what Tsunoda will try and do. And, well, what can Norris actually do? Can he go around the outside in the 3rd sector? Probably not. It's extremely difficult to go around the outside in sector number 3. So let's see how it works out. Apologies, folks, for the data. It's going to figure itself out shortly, but it's having a few moments here and there. Yuki, it's time for your mission if you're a Max Verstappen fan. And, well, he's going to get backed up. Leclerc will be approaching as well. This is the other thing. As Tsunoda backs up Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc is 1.7 seconds back. And we know how much pace Charles Leclerc has got. On the medium tyres, he was sat in dirty air for 14 laps of racing and still managed to stay within DRS of Lando Norris, even though he was in the dirty air. So monumental pace there from Charles Leclerc, and even if Tsunoda doesn't hold up Lando Norris for that long, Charles Leclerc will be fast approaching. And, well, he's got a Scarlet Ferrari behind him, and Lando Norris has got a charging Red Bull ahead of him. Tsunoda's been told over the radio, we expect Norris to be within your DRS within 1 lap, all you can when he catches. He's been told over the radio, folks. The mission has been confirmed over the radio. Pit stop takes 21 seconds, but none of that matters now. The mission has been confirmed. Let's find out. This is what will decide the title. If Tsunoda can defend against a charging McLaren. His season hasn't been so great. He's lost out to Max Verstappen in every single qualifying apart from one. But he does have racecraft. We've seen it before in the junior formulas. We've seen it in Super Formula. Even when he was in AlphaTauri, his racecraft is impeccable. His ability to defend when it's required is out of this world. The question is, will he be able to execute? I know what to do, so leave me to it. He's just said that over the radio. Oh my goodness me. Wow, this cannot get any more intense. I might have to start standing up here. Yuki Tsunoda could turn this championship's tides right around. And this is it. Lap number 22. The gap, 1.6 seconds. Charles Leclerc is approaching. Lando Norris is about to be sandwiched. Okay. I mean, Lando Norris might just breeze past him. However, with Strat 7 and overtake mode on that Honda power unit with VTEC kicking in and NOS as well, I don't know. I mean, obviously they don't have VTEC and NOS, but, you know, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. 81,000 people for the stream. Incredible, folks. Hope you're all enjoying the coverage. And, well, this one's going down to the wire. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Okay, and look, the tyre difference is 16 laps. So Norris has got 16 lap fresher tyres than Tsunoda, but Tsunoda has got the overtake button and nothing to lose. That is the main thing, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to lose for Yuki Tsunoda. In fact, his Formula One championship hopes, his hopes of being a Formula One driver probably rely on this moment. If he can deliver, then the things would look really good for him going into 27 and 28. If he cannot, then, you know, it might not work out for the Japanese driver. But Lando Norris is now within DRS range. Norris knows that Tsunoda's going to try and defend. Norris, in fact, is not even charging his battery. And he's been told over the radio, Leclerc is only 1.4 seconds back. So he knows, back him up, let Leclerc approach as well, and then it becomes even more of a headache for Lando Norris. Yuki Tsunoda is in fact Lando Norris' worst nightmare at this very moment. 24 seconds is the gap between Verstappen and Tsunoda right now, so if Verstappen comes into the pits, he comes out ahead of Lando Norris. No issues there. He'll have fresher tyres, he'll win the race, but Norris needs to finish below P4. Okay, well, here we go then. Coming down the straight, and Norris is gaining and gaining. Off onto the grass goes Lando Norris. Yuki Tsunoda pushes him and sends him to the inside. Lando Norris, does he go too deep into 7? He does. And Tsunoda's going to try the switchback. Here they go. Yuki Tsunoda, DRS, slipstream, strat 7, overtake mode. Everything is activated. Will he be able to close up against Lando Norris, or will he not? He looks to the inside, and Tsunoda has just let him by. Oh my goodness me, I was hyping this up for so much. Verstappen's just come into the pit lane, and now Verstappen's gonna back him up. Oh my god, Verstappen's just come into the pits. He's gonna come out 3 seconds clear, and then he's gonna go back him up. So even if it wasn't Tsunoda, now Verstappen is on plan and action, back up Lando Norris. Not great from Yuki Tsunoda, but Norris is now in a Red Bull sandwich as Verstappen exits the pit lane. You can see there fresh tyres for Max Verstappen. That is 6 laps fresher than Lando Norris. Piastri has now got clear air, and he's got to see how he can win this race, how he can win the title. As it stands right now, if it finishes like this, Norris wins the title, but Verstappen and Norris, the gap 5 seconds. Verstappen's going to slow right down, and, well, let's see how this one goes, folks. 85,000 people tuned in. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Smash that like button, subscribe. Norris was so close to the wall when Tsunoda was really giving him no margin whatsoever, and weaving left and right absolutely everything he could. McLaren was sparking away all over that side of the circuit as well, but I don't think that's going to be sort of plankwear. I think McLaren are going to be much more careful than that one. Leclerc gets ahead of Yuki Tsunoda, so it's not even a Red Bull sandwich anymore, and Verstappen has now been told, well, he'll be getting told over the radio shortly, Norris 5 seconds back. The only way you can win this championship is by holding him off. 85,000 people tuning into the live stream. Folks, if you're enjoying the coverage, smash that like button. Really helps out the channel. And be sure to subscribe as well. I commentate all of the races throughout the entire season, all of the practice sessions, all the qualifyings. I'll be there next year, and we'll see how that goes. But right now, championship down to the wire. Norris is on hard tyres. Verstappen is on fresher hard tyres. He's in a Red Bull. He knows how to defend. He's got the fresh engine from Brazil as well. Everything is in Verstappen's favour apart from the championship standings, and he's now got to hold off Lando Norris for the next 34 laps of the race. Most likely they're going to the end of the race with this one as well. It's unlikely there are going to be any more pit stops unless there's a safety car, and we'll see what Lewis Hamilton does on lap 53 or 58, and we'll see how that one turns out. But yeah, as of right now, the driver's most likely to go to the end of the race. Yeah, I hyped up Tsunoda's thing so much, and Tsunoda is just Turn 5 incident between Norris and Tsunoda has been noted. Interesting. I don't know what that was, but either way, congrats, Norris. I mean, there are still 34 laps left to go in this race. I think we all know that it's never over until everyone crosses the line. And yeah. All right. F1 Gamer, didn't Norris come off the white lines? I mean, that's what they're looking into. Forcing another driver off the track is what has happened at turn number 5. So maybe Norris gets handed a penalty for that one. I don't really know. But turn 5 incident. Look, I'm not going to say anything right now. I didn't even see the replay of that one, but Norris has been noted for leaving the track and gaining an advantage at turn number 5, and he's also been noted for forcing another driver off the track. Oh my God, the stewards have got to act fast. They cannot wait till the final lap of the race to hand out this penalty. It's got to be now or never. Let's see what happens to Lando Norris. That was, well, potentially an interesting move. It's under investigation right now. There's forcing another driver off the track and leaving the track and getting an advantage. He's under investigation for both. Okay, let's see. Don't just, this race hasn't just finished just yet. Let's see. It'll come over race control, folks, and I'll let you know as soon as it happens. Everyone is setting green lap times as the top 4. You can see Charles Leclerc, fastest lap of the race, but everyone is now pushing a little bit, spreading those gaps out, and Verstappen has not started up the backing up procedure just yet. The thing is, if he starts the backing up procedure now, then Piastri is going to come out ahead of him. That is the issue. So if Verstappen slows right down and slows down for like 4 seconds per lap, then then Piastri will come out ahead and come out in P1, and then that way it's not going to work. So for that reason, Verstappen isn't doing the backing up immediately. He's going to wait till Piastri comes into the pits, then activate time to back everyone up. Okay, let's see. It's coming through, folks. It's coming through. We're getting some lap times deleted. Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Colapinto, Hamilton, all lap times deleted for exceeding track limits. But let's see what the thing is. Lawson has served his 5-second time penalty. That's Liam Lawson serving his 5-second time penalty for driving erratically. But up at the front, everyone is waiting for the final message from the stewards, from race control, on whether Lando Norris will be getting a penalty for that one. Kimi Antonelli has been given a track limit deletion as well. 32 laps remain of this race. Oscar Piastri is currently in first position. Verstappen in second, Norris in third. And as the championship stands, it'll be Norris P1, Piastri P2, Verstappen P3. But of course, Piastri yet to come into the pits. Okay. Let's see. It's coming through, folks. I don't know why it's taking them so long, but just hang in there. We've still got another 32 laps of racing left to go. Folks, if you haven't smashed the like button, be sure to do so. If you haven't shared this stream up on Instagram and in Twitter, there's a link in the description. If you share the stream, put it on your story, retweet it, you get eligible for winning a F1 merch for next year, whichever driver that you want. I'll send it over. So go ahead and check that out. And yeah. Here we go. This is absolute drama here. Leclerc's been told this pace is mega well done. I don't know how Leclerc is extracting that pace, but purple lap again for the Scuderia Ferrari driver. It's good to see them back on top, and it's good to see the Hasses and the Saubers a little bit further back. That's how it should be really with the Ferrari team. It hasn't been in the past few races, but Leclerc is giving them a great opportunity. And Hamilton as well, he's done that softer, hard tyre strategy, up in 8th position. Brilliant job. The question is, can he go to the end of the race on that one? Okay, let's see then. Because, look, folks, this is the big thing. If Norris does get a 5-second time penalty, the back it up strategy would work insanely well. You back them up, and then 4th position, 5th position, 6th position, they're all within a second. They're all within 0.2 of a second, 0.3 of a second. And that means that Norris would lose the place. So the penalty yet to be awarded, but if it comes through, that would be so helpful for Max Verstappen. Okay, the pit stop loss time is 21 seconds. So if Piastri comes into the pits now, he comes out behind Max Verstappen. So Verstappen could start the backing up process, but still it's a little bit too early, and he runs the risk of Piastri coming out ahead, which he cannot afford. Okay. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you're all enjoying the coverage. Be sure to smash that like button. We're getting pretty close to 20,000 likes actually. And well, I do all this commentary wearing this fantastic purple suit for purple sectors. Big love to mum and dad watching Ryan Gaming Live. Let's get the win. Thanks for the donation either way. Piastri's box will be too close with Leclerc. Yeah, that's the other risk. Of course, Piastri wants to try and win this race, but yeah, if he comes out, it'll be it's a bit marginal with Leclerc, and hence he wants to well, see what you can do. And of course, the thing is, Piastri will come out on fresh tyres towards the end, and Leclerc will be out on used tyres, so then Piastri would overtake. That's the sort of strategy and how it would work for Piastri. It doesn't matter if he comes out behind Leclerc. The plan is he'll have fresh enough tyres to overtake. Nothing over from the race controls yet, folks. It's still under investigation. Lando Norris is under investigation. In fact, let me put it up on the text. Norris under investigation. Oh, Norris under investigation. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have a quick sip of water. Otherwise, my throat is really going to start dying. But yeah, up at the front, we've got Oscar Piastri, 15 seconds clear. Max Verstappen in a net P2, Lando Norris in a net P... Oh, sorry, Max Verstappen in a net P1, Norris in a net P2. And, well, the championship may be decided by this penalty. Let's see. Oh my god, Tsunoda has just been given a 5-second time penalty for more than one change of direction. okay. Liam Lawson got a black and white flag for that one, for driving around. Oh no, Liam Lawson also got a black and white 5-second penalty for changing direction more than once. But does that mean Norris is going to get a penalty? Tsunoda's got one for changing direction too much. That was for Yuki Tsunoda, not Lando Norris. We'll see what Norris has got at turn number 5 if he exceeded track limits. No further action, ladies and gentlemen. No further action for Lando Norris against Yuki Tsunoda for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, Lando Norris was, Yuki was weaving hard, but, I think that was sort of expected. I don't know how much there is wrong with weaving, but I guess he's been given a penalty. And Norris, no penalty for him. That is, him with now a purple first sector, and he's trying to close the gap down to Max Verstappen. Okay. So here we go then, folks. Here we go. I mean, do you really want a title battle that is decided by a 5-second time penalty? I don't really know. But either way, the penalty hasn't been awarded. There's going to be loads of discussion about it. But as of right now, Norris net P2 and things are going well for him. Piastri's probably going to come into the pits in the next 10 laps or so. I suspect 10 or so more laps for Oscar Piastri, and then he'll be coming into the pits. Oh my goodness me, we've got 700k views. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Very much is appreciated. Thanks for the donation there, buddy. 5 Singapore dollars. Norris has an 80% chance of winning. Verstappen 12, Piastri 6. Your thoughts? Well, look, the 80% chance is a pretty big number, and it looks to be going that way. The sunset looks absolutely beautiful in the skies of Abu Dhabi, and, well, for Lando Norris, this race is going beautifully, exactly as he would have wanted. Black and white flag for Kimi Antonelli for track limits, and that is... that's another black and white flag. One more track limit extension, that will be a penalty heading his way. Okay, folks, hope you're all enjoying the coverage. If you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Go to a huge way to help out the channel, and be sure to smash the like button. Hamilton has been given a black and white flag for track limits as well, and let's see. Black and white flag for Gasly. So loads of drivers now getting track limits warning. Hulkenberg has also been given a black and white flag. Let's get rid of the Norris under investigation. Let's get rid of that one. Okay. All right, 28 laps remain of this race, and the battle between Leclerc and Russell, no further investigation at turn 9 for moving under braking. Interesting. So no penalty there for Charles Leclerc, even though Russell was quite annoyed about that one. Okay. Here we go then, folks. We've got 15,000 more people to go to hit 100k live. If you haven't smashed the like button, be sure to do so. It would incredibly help out the channel. And if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do that. We've already hit 225k, might hit 227. Let's see. Norris is in a net P2. Once Piastri comes into the pit lane, he will lose 21 seconds in the pits, and that will drop him behind Charles Leclerc into P4. Tsunoda's just been told a 5-second penalty for moving twice under the defense of Norris, and Tsunoda just comes over the penalty saying, penalty? What penalty, bro? So not particularly happy there, and I think that was a bit of a harsh penalty, to be honest with you guys. A little bit of weaving down the straight, that's what we saw in 2021 with Max and Hamilton. They didn't give out penalties then, so anyway, Max Verstappen, 5 seconds clear, and we've got Lewis Hamilton into the pit. So Lewis Hamilton first of the drivers to do a double stop, and what tyres is it going to be? I think it's either mediums or hards for Lewis Hamilton. A 2.1 second stop, and he makes his way out of the pit lane. Yeah, very nicely done. It's a set of medium tyres for Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen, purple lap, sorry. He's going fast lap of the race. He's clearly got a bunch of pace, but that pace will not be used. The pace will be used to defend against Lando Norris. We'll see how it works out. But Lewis Hamilton, unfortunately, after that pit stop, gets dropped down into 19th position. Very, very suboptimal for the Ferrari driver. Okay, we're just past the halfway point of the race. Folks, who do you think is going to... Who do you think is going to be getting driver of the day? Who is your driver of the day for the race so far? I don't really know. I mean, Stroll is up 8 positions. Okay, Stroll hasn't come into the pits yet. Okay, for a second there I was like, Stroll? But no, I don't really know who my driver of the day is. I'd say Leclerc maybe. Leclerc has done a good job. Of course, Max has done a brilliant job at the front. But I think Leclerc, sitting in that dirty era of Lando Norris with the Ferrari is a brilliant job there. Okay, another fastest lap of the race for Max Verstappen. I mean, we might as well just start counting at this point. Max is Well, I don't know why he's doing that actually, because he's using a lot of his tyre life up at this moment in time, which is a little bit problematic, obviously, because he wants to save his tyre life to hold up Lando Norris and to block him and things like that. Tsunoda comes into the pit lane. He'll have to serve his 5-second time penalty, then get his tyres changed. And Piastri now on lap 33 of 58. There's another probably 7 laps left to go before he comes into the pits. Thanks for the donations here. We got, oh my god, 2 donations. RB, Yuki, Lawson, and losers. Okay, but thanks for the donation there, buddy. Apologies for missing a few. Very much is appreciated to everyone that has donated. Huge thank you to you all for keeping the channel going. Okay, next up is now Tsunoda into the pits, Antonelli into the pits, and all right. Up at the front, the gap is 5.6 seconds. As the standings are right now, Norris comes in P1 by 6 positions. And Max Verstappen is in P3. Of course, the pit stops are yet to come through. Further down the field, though, let's talk a little bit about the other drivers. You know, there's not too much action going up at the front. Behrman's trying to overtake Hülkenberg. We've got Bortoleto trying to overtake Fernando Alonso. Of course, Bortoleto and Alonso are a little sort of, you know, they work together. They're very sort of, Alonso's Bortoleto's mentor, so it's good to see that they're racing against each other quite hard. Behrman gets ahead of Nico Hülkenberg. Nice job there through turn number 9 for Ollie Behrman. And as it currently stands, Norris will be world champion. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness me. Apologies, folks, for all the data glitching out ever so slightly. How much the pit stops is necessary? Just one more pit stop for all of the drivers. You don't need to do 2 stops like in Qatar. Just 1 stop. That will be sufficient. Okay. Let's go. The drivers lose 21 seconds in the pit. So if Piastri pits, he comes out behind Leclerc, but ahead of Russell. That's the pit stop loss. And we've got Albon into the pits as well. He's doing a 2-stop strategy. So yeah, the 2 stops seems pretty common around here. The tyre wear's quite high. Franco Colapinto, black flag for track limits again. Oh, sorry, no, black and white flag, not black flag. Black and white flag for track limits. Yeah. Oh wait, what are the McLaren crew doing? Oh, they're getting the tyres ready. Okay, that might be Piastri then. Piastri will be getting ready to come out. Maybe come into the pits. I don't know. We'll see. They haven't said anything over the radio just yet. Caprine Cottage, thanks for the donation. Thank you for the amazing season. Love watching your streams. Thank you everyone for donating. I mean, it's been a huge pleasure to commentate to you guys all throughout the season. And you know, thank you all for donating, hitting the like button and things like that. And 24 laps remain of this race. Max Verstappen is purple in the final sector and looking to still keep some pace going as Piastri is potentially going to get called into the pit lane. Lando Norris crash, please? I mean, it's a bit wishful thinking. Norris has got 4 seconds behind him and 6 seconds ahead of him. It's unlikely that he's going to be crashing for no reason. Norris over the radio, what are they saying over the radio to him? I don't know. Is Lando on a 2-stop? Unlikely, folks. It's he could go till the end of the race on those hard tyres. We will see, you know, if he comes into the pits, but he should be able to make it to the end. And the Red Bull engineers have got their heads in their hands. Hannah Schmitz is thinking she's trying to cook some sort of strategy up, but things are not going so well right now. We'll see what happens on lap number 53 if there is a certain safety car that gets brought out due to a crash. But we will find out what happens in approximately 35 minutes' time of who is the Formula 1 World Champion. Okay. Oh, let's see then. And Norris is doing around laps that are quite a bit slower, actually. Well, only 2 or 3 tenths slower than Max Verstappen's. He's losing out quite a bit in terms of pace, but of course he doesn't need to keep the pace. He needs to just finish on the podium. And as things are going quite well. Stroll is in 6th position. Yeah, Stroll is still on the track, folks. So don't rule out a Nicholas Latifi-like moment. 23 laps remain of this race, and let's keep an eye out on the radios. We'll sort of see as they come through, really. Okay. Further down, we've still got Bortoleto and Alonso battling away. Bortoleto's doing a good job, actually. He's, of course, on same lap tyres as Alonso. They both pitted on the same lap, but Bortoleto just doing a great job of sticking to the back of him. Ocon is now caught up, and we'll see how that works out for him. Okay, Norris purple sector 1. Looks like he started to pick up the pace. There's no sort of reason for him. In fact, the ideal situation is that he, stays very spread out from everyone. No sort of issues in terms of dirty air and things like that. Okay. Orphan, thanks for the €6 donation. All right, Abu Dhabi title fight. It seems like the result is already clear. We know how this goes. Who's going to win it? Who's going to bin it in a sudden turnaround? Well, who knows? Yeah, we will see. We will see what happens in terms of if anyone bins it. Alex Albon's been noted for speeding in the pit lane, just not ideal really. We saw, of course, Carlos Sainz had an issue with his speedometer, and that's why he was speeding in the pit lane in Mexico. Same thing same thing has happened here with Alex Albon, but he's been noted for speeding in the pits. Okay, yeah. Here we go then. It is lap number 37 of 58, further down the field. Ocon getting very close. Oh, they said to Norris over the radio. They've asked him, how is the rear tyres? Oh, how is the tyre now? To Piastri, and Piastri said the rear is starting to get a bit worse now. So Piastri seems to be able to hang it out for a little bit longer. He is out on those hard tyres since lap 36. If he pits now, he'll be out on fresh mediums to go to the end of the race, which is very, very ideal if certain situations were to arise. But we don't really know what situations are going to go down. Norris, of course, will be getting backed up by Verstappen. As soon as Piastri dives into the pit lane, I suspect that, Verstappen will start the backing up process, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think? Do you think Verstappen will be able to successfully back Lando Norris up into the Ferraris and Russell and Stroll and, potentially win the title, or will something else happen? Did Tsunoda put on magic tyres? Oh no, it takes a little while for them to load, so medium tyres for Yuki Tsunoda. No, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very, very tough thing, because if Norris is in second, like, let's say if Norris was in third, then it would be easier to back him up. But with Piastri already there and Norris being in second, that backing up process is going to be ridiculous. And, we don't really know how that's going to work. Listening to Skyfall while watching this, well, maybe it's the tune to listen to with 21 laps left of this race. Bortoleto, Ocon and Alonso are having a great battle, but they're not showing us any of it. They're showing us the McLaren pit garage, and fair enough. They're walking around, getting ready for the call from Piastri saying, I want to come into the pits. There is a chance of P6 in the championship if for Fernando Alonso and for the Aston Martin team. So Aston Martin now, they are in they are 6th and 7th position, and if they can finish up in that position, or maybe even 5th and 7th position, then that means that they could get 6th position in the constructors, and that would give them an extra €7 million in prize money. So brilliant job there for the Astons if they can do that. It's currently up for grabs. Been a something last year, so much fun. Thanks, Daniel, for the donation. All right, and oh my god, it's really glitching out, folks. I do sincerely sort of apologize for this. Albon's under investigation for speeding in the pit lane. That would be a penalty pretty easy. And, here comes Piastri. Piastri is actually... What's going on here? Piastri, it's 2 seconds slower on the previous lap compared to Max Verstappen. His tyres may be coming off a cliff at this point. He's done 37 laps on hards, and that's not exactly ideal. So let's see what Piastri does. Does he dive into the pit lane with 21 laps left to go? If he pits, it'll be medium tyres, and medium tyres will be great. But he doesn't. He continues on. Maybe he's going for the softs right at the end. Maybe that's what he wants to do. Lance Stroll's currently in 6th position. Of course, he'll have to pit. But I think the job for Alonso now, build a DRS train, build a gap. Oh, Alonso's doing it again. DRS train, choo-choo. Fernando Alonso's building a DRS train so Stroll can come into the pits and Aston Martin can get 6th position. So great send-off for DRS in the final race of, DRS's final race of the forever, I guess. So yeah, that's Alonso's plan. We'll see if it works. That's what he's been told over the radio. Alonso train, let's go. Verstappen now getting perilously close to Piastri now, gaining at a rapid rate, and Piastri's lap times are in the 129s, Verstappen's are in the 127s. So Verstappen's pushing, and it looks like he is, chasing down Oscar Piastri. We'll see how that goes for him. What happens if Piastri pits? Where would he end up? Piastri would end up behind Leclerc, but ahead of George Russell. So he would end up in a net P4. Yeah. All right, gap now down to 2.6 seconds. Oh my goodness me, those hard tyres are really cooked there for Oscar Piastri. And Max Verstappen is gaining very, very quickly now. 7/10 in the last sector alone. And what's Piastri doing here? Is Piastri trying to back Max Verstappen? What's he going to back him up into? It makes no sense. Maybe Piastri's got to come into the pit, surely. Is it a mandatory two-stop? No, it is not. It is not a mandatory two-stop. We'll sort of see how that goes. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you're all enjoying the coverage. Be sure to smash the like button. We are the biggest live stream on YouTube once again, ladies and gents. So hope you're all enjoying the coverage. And well, let's have a wonderful race here. Wonderful final 19 laps of the Grand Prix. Okay. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, Max Verstappen now 1.5 seconds back. Lando Norris is also set at purple first sector, so they're both picking up the pace. Charles Leclerc's into the pits. It's a double stop for the Ferrari. Ferrari doing two stops here. It looks like they can't manage the tyres well enough, so Charles Leclerc into the pit lane. He comes out just behind George Russell. He will be able to make that overtake. Russell's on very old tyres. Leclerc is on fresh mediums, but maybe we're going to get a double stop then from people. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. Norris has been told to box. Norris has been told to box. So they are not going to do... He's not going to get backed up by Max because Norris has been told to come into the pits. Will Leclerc come out ahead of him? Let's see. Leclerc, if he has a really good outlap, maybe, but Norris is pushing pretty hard as well. I guess why not? They don't want to get backed up. That's sort of their main aim. And Piastri now is, well, he's just going long. He's under threat of Max Verstappen. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's risky, but McLaren have fumbled in the past. Let's see if does Norris come into the pits? Yes, he does. Okay, Norris into the pit lane. Is it going to be a quick stop? If it's a slow stop, he'll lose the position to Charles Leclerc. Here he comes. And is that a quick one? Yes, it is. Nice stop there from the McLaren crew. 2.4 seconds for them. And Lando Norris is now making his way out of the pit lane. Max Verstappen has got DRS on Oscar Piastri. They head towards turn number 5 and Verstappen is gaining. The DRS flap is open. Piastri's tyres are absolutely cooked and Verstappen, he looks to the inside. Piastri is not going to defend this one too hard and Verstappen up into P1 and Piastri yet to pit. Okay. George Russell is... Yeah, George Russell, I mean, that gap, yeah, it's quite big actually between Norris and Leclerc, so... Yes, it is. Once Piastri comes into the pits now, Piastri, actually, if Piastri pits now, he'll come out ahead of Norris. And Piastri's trying to well, he's got DRS in towards turn 9, but he's not actually going to make an overtake work. So nice job there from Piastri, and we'll see what he does now. We'll be clear on pit exit. That's what they said to Norris. Okay. I think Max can keep it. Well, Max is, look, he's in the lead right now. And if Piastri pits, he comes out ahead of Norris. And then what happens? Let's have a think. So then it's Verstappen P1, Piastri P2, Norris P3, and Russell P4, and Leclerc P5. That would be the order. And most likely what that would mean is if Verstappen was to back everyone up, Piastri's just come into the pit lane. Okay, so here we go. So if Verstappen backs everyone up right this very moment, then he will... Yeah, he'll cause Norris and Russell to sort of close together. But look at that gap. It's quite big. Verstappen will also have to come into the pits. But once he does that, he will activate plan backup. Yeah. 17 laps remaining. We're on lap 42 of 58. Yeah, let's see how it goes. Charles Leclerc trying to overtake George Russell here. And Verstappen is, well, I think what he'll do is there's no point in him sort of pushing right now because he's going to have to slow down anyway to back them all up. And yeah. Interesting. I can't exactly figure out what's going to happen here. But I think Verstappen pits, then they all start slowing down for the final 17 laps of the race. All right, here comes Charles Leclerc. DRS open as he exits turn number 5, gaining on George Russell. Russell's got no DRS to defend with. Goes to the inside, does Charles Leclerc. Fresh set of medium tyres for him. Bish, bash, bosh. Job done. In towards turn number 7. And Leclerc has got P4. Okay. So here it is then. Here it is, ladies and gents. Piastri, what is he getting told over the radio? I can't listen to that. Okay. Russell is going to try and re-overtake him, but to be honest, he's just a little bit too far back, and he's also on such old tyres. It's 27-lap-old hard tyres for George Russell, and Leclerc's on 5-lap-old medium. So, yeah, there we go. Folks, we've got 90,000 people tuned in. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. All 90,000 of you. If you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Hopefully, we can get those 20,000 likes. And, well... The aim is 100k people watching live. So if you haven't, if you want to win some F1 merch, there's a link in the description to an Instagram post and Twitter post. Just share that on Instagram or put it on your story or retweet it on Twitter. It enters you into a giveaway and you can win some F1 merch. Otherwise, enjoy the coverage. We're going racing for the final 16 laps of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Currently, Norris P1 in the tyre championship, and he is leading Max Verstappen by 2 points. All Max Verstappen needs to do is back Lando Norris up. So Verstappen comes into the pits. He slows down Oscar Piastri, he slows down Lando Norris, and hopes that Charles Leclerc overtakes Norris to get the final podium position. Okay, Lewis Hamilton's having some nice battles, to be fair, further down in 11th position. And, Albon did get a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. We've got Hadjar, Stroll, Bortoletto, lap time deleted for track limits. Stroll and Hulkenberg into the pits. Getting very, very exciting here. And Lewis Hamilton here, lap number 43 is in 10th position. Started all the way down in 16th, up 6 positions, up into P10. And now he's about to overtake Bortoletto as well. And he's on fresher tyres, so good job there by Lewis Hamilton further down the field. Alonso unfortunately couldn't cause a big DRS train and has unfortunately lost the position in P6 in the constructors. Let's have a look. I'll have a look later actually. Right now it's not the highest concern. But yes, thank you everyone for donating, all of the big thank you. Yeah, big donations, very much is appreciated. Okay, so Verstappen said he's going to need to be 1.5 seconds quicker than you per lap. Oh no, they've come over the radio to Verstappen to say he's going to need to be 1.5 seconds quicker than you per lap. I'll keep you posted. Okay. So, let's see how it goes. Also, ladies and gentlemen, this is the other thing that I would like to point out. Charles Leclerc has set the fastest lap of the race. He is on medium tyres. Lando Norris is on hard tyres. That may mean that was the one difference between the two drivers. You look at the first stint where Leclerc was super close to overtaking Lando Norris. What was the gap? The gap was always under 1 second, but it was... But they were both on medium tyres. Right now, Leclerc's on the quicker medium tyres. Norris is on the hard tyres. So for you Max Verstappen fans out there is still another chance. Even if Verstappen doesn't back them all up, which he probably will, Leclerc has the quicker tyres to be able to try and overtake Lando Norris. Leclerc's tyre will start to fail towards the end of the race, but... the fuel loads are a little bit lighter. The temperatures have also dropped ever so slightly, which should, in theory, help out the Ferrari team, but only time will tell. Yeah, even if Max wins, as you can see here, folks, if Max wins, he gets all 25 points, but he needs Lando Norris to get 12, not 15. 15 is too many points for Max to win, so that's why he's going to slow everyone down and try to make Leclerc overtake Norris. What's the picture? Piastri said, what's the picture in the front? How do I win this race? And they've said, Verstappen is a pit stop window ahead. He's 27 seconds ahead of you. Okay, no. So, oh my goodness me. Verstappen, if he comes into the pit lane right now, he's running the risk of coming out behind Oscar Piastri. So Verstappen's got to pit pretty soon. Piastri started to push, and that's another purple first sector there for Oscar Piastri. Apologies for the data just glitching out ever so slightly, but Verstappen is, now look at that gap. It's 22.1. You lose 21 seconds in the pit lane. So I suspect Verstappen's coming in very, very soon, so he stays out ahead of Oscar Piastri. Yeah. Max has got to pit and then activate planned backup. Norris has got a whole lot of pace, and they may switch the two McLaren drivers around in order to protect Norris, but we'll see how it goes. Piastri still wants to win this race, and I think Piastri sort of said, I'm not going to listen to team orders unless it's on the final 5 laps of the race. Okay. No track limits for any of the championship leaders. Or any of the championship battlers. They're all very clean on track limits. Nobody's gone wide on anything, apart from that one occasion when Norris did to get ahead of Tsunoda. But no further investigation. 91,000 people tuned in. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Be sure to smash that like button. 13 laps remain of this race. Verstappen does not come into the pits on this lap. He looks like he's going to push one more lap, but Piastri is gaining at a rate of knots. But you can see here, Verstappen purple in the first sector, so he's just gone into attack mode now, and, well, he'll probably pit in 1 or 2 laps. All right, here we go then. Lap 43 of 58. Pierre Gasly's been noted for track limits. Hamilton up into 8th position. Great progress again. And he just gets ahead of Ollie Behrman. Fresher tyres, quicker tyres. And Hamilton's up into 8th position. Up 8 places off the race start. Good job there for Lewis. And honestly, maybe my driver of the day. He's been doing a brilliant job. Maybe Hamilton, maybe Leclerc. But it's been great. Okay. Please, Leclerc, you're our only hope. Yeah, well, for all of the Max fans, Leclerc is the only one that can do anything right now, and Leclerc is setting the fastest laps. Oh my goodness me, this is really starting to glitch out now. Do apologize, folks. Do apologize. But yes, Max is making his way through, and well, I suspect coming into the pits very, very quickly. Only 14 laps left. Well, only 13 laps left now. Why is it doing this so much? Yeah, okay. Hopefully, okay. All right. Well, here comes Max Verstappen. Does he come into the pits? No, again. Verstappen doesn't come into the pit lane. And, well, he is still staying out. I don't know exactly what the strategy play here is from the Red Bull team, but they want to keep him out for as long as possible. And, yeah. All right. Here we go, folks. Here we go. All right. 12 laps remain of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. 12 laps remain of the 2025 Formula One season. We have had 70 laps of racing here, folks. 70 laps of racing. We have 7,000 kilometers of racing throughout the entire season. Also, folks, I can gift 10 channel memberships. Thanks to someone that's just gifted some channel memberships, but I'm gifting 10 channel memberships. So all you've got to do in the stream chat is just type like F1 Abu Dhabi or F1 Live or whatever it is, and then you could win the membership. So you can type that, and then I'll do a sort of a giveaway. Also, the data's going to refresh. The screen's going to go black for 5 seconds, folks. 5 seconds, screen's going to go black, and I'm going to the data hopefully will stop lagging about. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're back. Okay, hopefully no more issues. Okay, there we go. So I'm just gonna, yeah, there we go. All right, fantastic. I'm gonna gift all of these members. Thanks everyone for tuning in, for being channel members. Much is appreciated. And there we go. 10 channel memberships have been gifted. 11 laps remain of this race, and we have Max Verstappen still yet to pit, and he's also outside the pit stop window. What's going on here? What is going on here? You lose 21 seconds in the pits, and Max Verstappen is 20 seconds ahead of Oscar Piastri right now. And so if he comes into the pits, then he comes out behind Piastri, and that's all championship hopes over. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. All right, it is very much nighttime here in Abu Dhabi. Verstappen has got his first track limit extension, actually. Lap number 45, first time he's extended track limits. Suboptimal, to say the least, but I guess he doesn't really mind. And don't know what Red Bull are doing there. Maybe they're hoping for a safety car. Maybe on lap 53 we will get a crash. Yeah. Also, folks, who is your rookie of the season? This is one I wanted to ask you. Who is your rookie of the season? Mine personally, Isaac Hadjar, but Bortoletto's done a brilliant job. So's Ollie Behrman. So who's it going to be? Maybe Kimi Antonelli? But let me know in the chat. Up at the front of the race, Max Verstappen is 20 seconds clear of Oscar Piastri. And, well, he's it's still a little bit marginal. I don't know really what is going on with his strategy there. Okay. Yeah, looks like a lot of people saying Fernando Alonso is your rookie of the year. Fair enough. Fernando Alonso, why not? Yeah, brilliant. Thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. Very much is appreciated. Hope you're all enjoying the coverage. Yeah. Okie dokes. Here we go. 10 laps remain of this race, and Max Verstappen is 19 seconds ahead of Oscar Piastri. And if the championship stays as it is, he is losing the championship by 2 points. 2 points is what he's losing the championship by. All right, Alonso train is on again. Yeah, Alonso's holding, well, it's not a DRS train just yet, but Alonso's just got to back them up a little bit, and then we'll get a big old DRS train. Max Verstappen has got 7 driver of the days so far in 2025. Antonelli's got 2, Hamilton's got 2. Oscar Piastri purple in the first sector. It looks like he's trying to close that gap up. Don't know what Verstappen's play is here. 10 laps left to go of this race. Okay. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. I'm going to have a quick sip of water, otherwise my throat's really going to start to hurt. Okay. Oh, also the final thing that I wanted to mention, folks. If you guys could hit the refresh button, if you're watching this on like a computer or whatever, if you guys could hit the refresh button, I think that might help with the lag situation. But just try it out. Try out the refresh button. It might help with this data lagging. It's a bit of a complicated thing, but I think it might help. So if you are watching on, whatever, just try it out. But as of right now, Verstappen P1, Oscar Piastri P2, Norris P3, and the championship is right now in Lando Norris's hands. He has got one hand on the title. In fact, he's nearly got 2 hands on the title at this point. But it is McLaren's championship to lose. If they snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, I will be truly blown away. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, very much appreciated, guys, for hitting the refresh button. I think it's helping just a little bit. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might work. Okay, Stroll up into P14, gets ahead of Isaac Hadjar, and Alonso started the train now. It's Alonso, then Ocon, then Hamilton, and then the rest of the drivers will join on shortly. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so here we go then. 9 laps remain of this race, and we have got Max Verstappen in P1. He's not coming into the pits by the looks of it. I don't know what he's going to do, but keep an eye out on the radio messages. Leclerc is 4 seconds back from Lando Norris, so it's not any sort of chance there in terms of getting close and being able to re-overtake. But I don't really know what Max's play is, because I would have expected... Oh, there we go. He's been told 8 laps remaining, Max. The gap is 18 seconds. So maybe Max has got a plan. If someone does know the plan, then let me know. Folks, also, the giveaway has been done for the channel membership. So typing F1, the people have already won it. So, yeah. All right, Hamilton on the back of Esteban Ocon. He's getting close, but really, it's going to be a tough one with Ocon not being so close behind Fernando Alonso. Yeah. All right, we need Michael Massey. Well, we're approaching... they've just come over the radio. So Lando doing a fantastic job. Everything here is amazing. There are 5 racing laps, including this one. What are your thoughts on softs for staying out of the tyre? I think the softs would be better just if the safety car gets delayed. Wouldn't be an issue. Oh, they might pit Lando Norris for the softs. Wait, what? Okay, wait. So if he comes into the pits, he comes out just ahead of Russell. But what? What? Am I looking at that correctly? He comes out ahead of Russell, but then he'll lose the position to Leclerc, come out in P4, and then they're hoping that Piastri will also pit, they'll swap the positions around and Norris gets P3. What? That is an interesting strategy, to say the least. Norris said he's happy with it. Norris said that's a good idea. I want to come into the pits for a set of soft tyres. We will see if he does come into the pit lane, but this opens a huge can of worms for Lando Norris. If he does come into the pits, there is a very big risk of anything going wrong. If there's a safety car out and Piastri can't give the positions back, then Norris finishes in 4th position, and that's that. I don't know what McLaren are doing, but as of right now, things are fine. He's on 10-lap-old hard tyres. Hard tyres can do 43 laps. Stroll did 43 laps on hard tyres. It's very easy to make those tyres last right till the end of the race. So I don't know what they're doing there. 8 laps remain of the race, folks. 8 laps remain. No, they can't be that stupid. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they did it last weekend in Qatar, didn't they? Yeah, Verstappen has got another lap time deleted. That is 2 lap times deleted now for Max Verstappen. If he does it 2 more times, he will get a 5-second time penalty. Not that that'll have much of an effect on the standings anyway. But yeah, bit strange now. Max starting to push a little bit. Of course, his tyres are a bit old as well. Norris has just gone purple in Sector 1, so clearly has got a reasonable amount of pace left in his car to continue on going. Okay, we've got 91,000 people tuning into live stream. Folks, thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. And hopefully, if you haven't subscribed, we're 30 subscribers away from 227. Maybe we could even hit 230 if everyone hits the subscribe button. Folks, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, you're new to the channel, I commentate all the Formula 1 races, practice sessions, qualies, races, and of course, in a suit when it's a title decider. So, yeah, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. I'll be commentating all of next year, including testing and stuff like that. Anyway, up at the front, it is lap 52 of 58 now. Now it is time. If anyone wants to become a Nicholas Latifi and cause a crash or anything like that, then, well, now's the time to do it. Let's see how it goes. All right. We are on... Yeah, Lando Norris still continuing on. I don't think he's going to come in for the softs. I think that was a bad idea. And yeah, coming into the pits right now is way, way too risky. You would come out ahead of Russell if the pit stop was perfect, and you don't want to risk that. You would potentially, if Piastri for whatever reason doesn't come into the pits or just doesn't change, then they could lose the title. So who knows? All right. Yeah. And Verstappen doesn't look like he's coming into the pits. He also isn't doing any backing up, which is a bit strange. But with 6 laps left to go, Verstappen is miles up in the lead of the race. Let's see if you come back one more time. Yeah, well, we'll see. Blue flag, I mean, there are a few blue flags coming around here. You got Lawson, Verstappen's getting Lawson for blue flags. Colapinto shortly will be getting Piastri and Norris for blue flags as well. But not too many drivers have been lapped. It's just the Alpines. And, that's the thing. We've had, over the course of a 53-lap race, the field is so close that only 2 drivers have been lapped. Everyone else is still on the lead lap of the race. Okay. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Max Verstappen is, up in P1 and is leading the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And then we've got Piastri in second, Lando Norris in third position. Leclerc's got a lap time deleted for exceeding track limits. All the drivers getting a little bit careless now towards the end of this race. 5 laps remain, with the McLarens making their way through the final sector at this moment in time. Okay, yes, no lap 53 incident. Well, looks like we didn't get a lap 53 incident. How poetic it would be if Hamilton would go off and cause a safety car now. Yeah, it would be. It would be very, very poetic indeed. But Hamilton is too busy trying to overtake Esteban Ocon here. As they go through turns number 7, Esteban Ocon is, getting very, very close to, getting very close to losing the position here to Hamilton. Hamilton tries to go around the outside at turns number 9. Can he pull it off? Not on this occasion. Ocon stays ahead by a fine margin there. But Hamilton's getting close. And we've got George Russell just coming across the line now. Max Verstappen, it makes his way to turn number 9. Okay, want some drama? Well, we could always get drama coming down to the final race of the season. Let's see how it goes. But folks, really is appreciated. Thank you everyone for tuning in and hitting the like button, enjoying the coverage. Really is much, much appreciated. Hope you're all enjoying. And yeah, once again, biggest live stream on YouTube, as I said earlier. Okay. All right, Charles Leclerc is 7 seconds back. Norris is 3 seconds back from Piastri. And Lewis Hamilton still trying to make some moves here on Esteban Ocon. Max Verstappen now coming across the line to start lap number 55 of 56 with 4 laps remaining of this race. Verstappen continues on. Yeah. Is he struggling with graining? That's what Norris says. For Oscar, it's more the rear tyres. Okay, so that's what they're saying. Piastri's struggling with his rear tyres. He's on the medium compound as well, which are a little bit less durable, of course, than the hards. And yeah, so Piastri's struggling with rear temps, and Norris is getting close. But to be honest, no sort of need to battle between the two. If there's any sort of chaos that goes on there, that would be pandemonium in the final few laps. But Norris is catching up now, and by the looks of it, with 4 laps remaining of this race, Max Verstappen may lose lose the number one may lose the number one on his car and will be reverting back to number 33 or maybe 31. Oh, no, it's not 31, sorry. Number 3 or number 33. We'll see what he picks for next year. If he doesn't win the title, and with the way things are going, with the final 6 minutes, I'd say, of the championship remaining, Max Verstappen is 2 points behind Lando Norris. The data glitching is chaotic. Yeah, I mean, I really do apologize, but with 4 laps left to go, I'll give it a quick refresh. So 5, 4, 3, 2. I mean, there we go. It's already back. Maybe that'll fix it, but yeah, I do apologize. It's just, the servers are very laggy around this time when there are millions of people watching. So I apologize for that. Okay. Here we go then. Up in P1, we have got Max Verstappen. Then we've got Oscar Piastri. Then Lando Norris. Oh, Stroll gets ahead of Bortoletto. Hülkenberg gets ahead of Tsunoda. Nicely done there. And 3 laps remain of this race, folks. There is 15 kilometers racing, 15 kilometers left of racing here. Max Verstappen is making his way through turns number 6, and we have got Piastri and Norris. 15 more kilometers left to go. Ana de Armas is waving the flag. I mean, classic to have a celebrity waving the flag, but if you're going to pick anyone, pick Ana de Armas, sure. And... well, 13 seconds is the gap up at the front. Norris, I don't get why Verstappen didn't do any backing up. Does anyone understand why Verstappen is doing no backing up whatsoever? Because if he did back them up, Leclerc could potentially overtake Norris. Of course, it's unlikely with the both McLarens being there, but you should try, surely, no? At least that's what I would think. Yeah. Okay, lap number 56 of 58, Max Verstappen making his way through turns number 16 now. We've got 93,000 people tuning into the live stream. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Yeah, be sure to see. Oh, also, if you could follow my Instagram, it's F1Gamer_official. Be sure to follow me there. Oh my goodness me, there are so many tweets, and my phone is just blown up. Okay. Yeah, here we go then. 2 laps remain of this race, and we have got Max Verstappen P1, but P2 in the championship. Yeah. Lando Norris is in P3, but P1 in the championship, and Oscar Piastri in second position. He is getting 3rd place in the championship. There are so many if, buts, and maybes. If Max didn't crash in Spain, if Norris didn't crash in Canada, or if Piastri didn't crash in Baku, if there wasn't an engine failure for Norris in Zandvoort, if Verstappen didn't get taken out by Antonelli in Austria, if Piastri didn't listen to team orders in Monza, there are so many if, buts, and maybes. But of course, the championship will always get won by the driver with the most number of points to their name. And by the way it is looking right now, Lando Norris didn't have the strongest start to the season, but he has come out and proved the critics wrong. We're here on the final lap of penultimate lap of the race, and Lando Norris has got a clean track ahead of him, clean track behind him, no back markers whatsoever. 5.4 kilometers remain for for Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, and Max Verstappen till the end of this Formula One season. Okay, here we go, folks. Yeah, Max Verstappen makes his way through turn number 16 now, and he has got that's it. Final lap now, 58 of 58. We had over 1,000 laps of racing, over 7,000 kilometers of racing all around the world. 20 different continents we have raced at. 20 different countries we have raced at, 5 different continents. 3 brilliant title contenders. Max Verstappen, they're in 4th position. They're in first position, has done a brilliant job so far, and he has, led an incredible race today. But, of course, the championship is won by the driver with the most points, and that looks to be Lando Norris. Here comes Max Verstappen now to start the final lap of the race. To start the final sector, actually. And he's done a brilliant job, absolutely everything that he could to hold off the McLaren drivers, but the McLarens were just too quick. From start to finish, McLaren have dealt with so much pressure, their first time in a championship battle, and they have dealt with it brilliantly. Max Verstappen comes through turns number 15. He sees the checkered flag. He wins the race in Abu Dhabi, but the title can only be won by Lando Norris. Piastri makes his way through turns number 14 and 15. Norris, ever since he was a little boy, he's been dreaming of this exact moment. 26 years of training leads to this race. He comes through the final corner. He sees the checkered flag. Lando Norris is the champion of the world in 2025. Great drive by Norris. What a season it has been. And 423 points. He wins the championship by 2 points against Max Verstappen. What a battle between the two. And Lando Norris wins the title. Wow. That has been that. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure commentating to you guys. Further down the field, we get Leclerc P4, Russell P5, Fernando Alonso in 6th position, and we get Ocon in 7th, Hamilton in 8th after making up 8 places, Stroll in 9th, and Behrman in 10th position. Tremendous season by Lando Norris. He has proved the critics wrong. An incredible battle can only be won by one. And, well, Lando Norris has done it. Yeah, the prophecy holds true. If you win the race in Abu Dhabi in the final race of the season, then you win the championship the following year. It has been true for the previous 7 years. Will it be true next year? Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri have had severely compromised designs for 2026, and the McLarens have been focusing so much on this year's car that 2026 may be a bit compromised, but we'll see how it works out. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, be sure to do so. Hopefully we can make our way towards 230,000. I mean, it's been mega. Really is appreciated. Everyone for tuning in. And wow, what a season it has been. The fireworks fly for Lando Norris, who is the championship winner. Max Verstappen is the race winner, but yeah, there is nothing more that he could have done. Checkered flags out. Season is over. Thanks, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. Yeah, very much is appreciated. And oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. What a season it has been. What a season. Yeah, folks, I will be commentating the race in I'll be commentating testing in 2026. So, you know, if you guys enjoyed the coverage here, I'll be doing that. And yeah, I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer. Probably, you know, I don't know, an hour or so. We'll see how it goes. But oh, wow, what a season. It's been an incredible pleasure. And Lando Norris is there doing some donuts in his car. I'm sure he'll be very happy about that one. Hopefully he doesn't get disqualified because of too little weight on his rear tyres, but I think he'll be fine. McLaren will definitely be running with a whole lot of margin for this Grand Prix. Yeah. Yeah, nice some burnouts there, and I'm sure, as you can see, it just means so much to Lando Norris. And wow. Yeah, thank you all, folks. I'm going to stick around. Hope you've all enjoyed, but yeah, no more Yuki Tsunoda next year. Yuki Tsunoda finishes in 14th position in his final race with Red Bull in 2025, and we'll see what he can do. But Norris now getting out of the car, and well, he rises out of the car, and well, it's going to be a brilliant celebration for him. Commendable drive from Lando Norris, and yeah, great season. He has done it, and the fireworks fly, and he can barely believe it. By 2 points, he beats Lando Norris. He beats Max Verstappen. All right, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks all for tuning in. Max Verstappen congratulates Lando Norris, and Piastri as well does the same, says well done. He finishes behind by 23 points, of course. That 23 points could have been gathered in a huge number of places. But alas, at the end of the day, it's never if, but and maybe. It is what happened in real life, and Lando Norris is world champion. That's just what happened. Yeah. Brilliant commentary. Good job, F1 Gamer. Thank you, everyone. I mean, up to 91,000 people watching live. We're nearly gonna hit. We're gonna hit 1 million views. Actually, yeah, we're gonna hit 1 million views for the stream. Wow. I remember my first stream. It had 700 views. 700 to 1 million is a wow. Okay. I mean, I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone. I've got my silver play button here actually that I've never sort of showed on stream. This black tape is because my name's there, like my actual name. But big thank you to all of you guys. That this is the reason, because of all of you. This is why we're here. So yeah, much appreciated. It is it's been a pleasure commentating to you guys. Really. Yeah. Jeffel, thanks for the donation. Congrats, Lando Norris 2025 World Drivers' Championship. Thanks for the donation there, buddy. And yeah, congratulations indeed to Lando Norris. He has won that title. In fact, you know what I shall do? I shall bring up the championship standings up onto the screen. Yeah, okay. There we go. That's the championship standings for the race. Thank you for all the lives this year. I mean, thank you so much, guys. I mean, I don't really know what to say. I run out of, I've probably said thank you so many times. I've said, please like and subscribe so many times as well. Like I feel like I'm a little bit worried that you guys get a bit repetitive, like bit annoyed by the whole repetitiveness of it. Who used DRS last? Who finished within a second of someone? It was Hadjar. Isaac Hadjar used DRS last. He finished within, I think it was either Hadjar or Antonelli. One of the two drivers were to use DRS last in the race. So, yeah, that is that's that. Jensen Button the first. It's either Hadjar or Antonelli the last. Okay. He deserves it, man. Mega job from Max in the second half. Yeah, I mean, look, there's always, it's not always going to be the best driver who wins the world title. That is not always the case. It's always the best car and driver combination wins the title. And, well, for that very reason, someone's been given a penalty. That is Oliver Behrman, 5 seconds for change of direction. But what was I going to say? Oh, Behrman might get dropped out of the points for that one, actually. Yeah, Behrman is dropped out of the points because of that penalty. Oh, well. Yeah, it's never always going to be the driver with who is the best. Yeah, you can see that Behrman's just dropped from 8th position down to 12th. Not that it had any sort of impact on the championship anyway. Yeah. All right. So yeah, essentially that's the sort of just how it goes, really. It's not always, when Michael Schumacher was racing, it wasn't always him that won the championship. It wasn't always Ayrton Senna that won, and it's not always going to be Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton. It's the driver with the best combination of the car and team and machine. So for that reason, Lando Norris is the driver that won. Yeah. Okay. What is your highlight of the season? Oh, Nico Hulkenberg podium for sure. Nico Hulkenberg podium has got to be the best highlight of the season for me. Just an incredible drive for an incredible driver that has tried so often, so hard for so many years, and just. It sort of, gives us a little bit of hope, really. Like, not hope per se, but, it gives you some motivation. Nico Hulkenberg has tried for 17 years straight to try and get a Formula One podium, day in, day out, going to the factory, doing the best that he can for his driving. And, well, he, after all of that effort, finally put together a fantastic drive in Silverstone to get a podium. So that would be my highlight of the season. Okay, can they get disqualified still? I mean, look, guys, yes, theoretically they can. They will look into it, and I will keep you updated. I'll be live for about 10 minutes or so. Oh, not 10 minutes, about another hour or so, I'm not sure. But, yeah, I'll keep you updated, but it's unlikely anything's going to happen. McLaren will have been running their margin so big that because they don't want a disqualification, it's unlikely, so... What is the red +2 next to Hadjar? He lost out 2 positions in the championship in the final race. He lost. Alonso got 8 points and got more points than him at the end, and Hulkenberg got 2 points and ended up ahead of him. So that's why Hadjar's down 2. All right. If only they had Checo. Yeah. If only they had Checo. That defense would have gone very, very differently. I don't know. I mean, of course, Norris got under investigation for going wide, and that was, a bit questionable. And I don't know really how they should have dealt with that one. I still think in these sort of scenarios, the FIA should have the ability to say, or the steward should have the ability to say, that wasn't a clean overtake. I want you to go give him back the position and then try again. But yeah, they don't have the ability to say that, and for that reason, it's not great. What's your opinion on Yuki swerving? I mean, they handed out Look, they were consistent with the swerving penalties. However, I think swerving penalties, unless they are really dangerous, should be, just sort of ignored. Like, they shouldn't be penalties for swerving. It's part of racing, you'd see very often, Alonso and Schumacher, when they had their battles back in Imola in 2005 and stuff like that, they would weave left and right, and they would play it safe and be respectful. So it makes sense to sort of keep it that way. But yeah, Felix, really, why are Max fans so toxic? I don't know, man. There's some, obviously, you want your favorite driver to win, but there's an extent, you shouldn't be hoping for a disqualification for the other driver. What's your opinion on Yuki swerving? Yeah, I already answered that one. I think, if Max wanted to win the title, his best shot should have been backing them up. Of course, it was probably, there's a 1% chance that it was going to work with Piastri and Norris being together as a team. But I think what other option did he really have, the other option was Lando Norris crashes out spontaneously, and I don't think that was ever going to happen. So if he backed them up, maybe Leclerc locks the brakes and crashes into Norris, or something like that happens, or Piastri and Norris get too close to each other and one of them has an issue because of dirty air. Like, that's probably the best route that he would have had, and he didn't take it. So yeah. Will Lewis and Fernando leave in 26? Well, I don't know. I mean, Fernando, if the car's good in 26, he'll stay. If the car's good in 26, Lewis will stay. I think Alonso is more likely to stick around if the car's bad. Hamilton, I'm not so sure. All right. Will McLaren have an F-duct back in 2026? Well, we'll see what they do in terms of sort of crazy messages and ideas and things to do. So. Yeah. All right. Verstappen tells Red Bull how proud he is of the team and how they never gave up. He's not disappointed. Of course, very, very emotional over the radio as well. And much appreciated, folks, to everyone that sort of shared my post on Insta and on Twitter and everything. Really is appreciated. Goes a long way to helping out the channel and the algorithm and stuff like that. Of course, the algorithm will be down in we had 208 people that 18 people that shared it, loads of people reposted it. So okay, I'll keep you posted on the skid block checks. But yeah, folks, if you've got any questions that you want to ask me, anything, congrats on 227k subscribers. You passed your goal twice since the stream. Yeah, I actually had an email come through to my I had an email come through to my inbox this morning, and I had set myself the goal of 200k by the final race of the season. I had an email come through. It was like, oh, have you hit 200k? By the way things were going back at the start of the season, we should probably hit 200k by the final race. And, well, here we are at 227. So, yeah, thank you very, very much. Lance Stroll, last ever DRS overtake. Yeah, Isaac Hadjar, last ever driver to use DRS. What are your next plans in 2026? I mean, my plans in 2026 will be commentating. I will be doing my best to keep going with the coverage. I might get a job depending on how things go and depending on how my interviews go next week. But I'll do my best to see if I can commentate still on Fridays, and then Saturday and Sunday commentaries will be there as always. Okay. How will you fit 24 cars on the layout? Well, we've only got to have 22. Audi are buying out the Sauber team, or sort of working with them. They're not creating a new team themselves. But yes, we will have 2 more cars, and I'm going to have to do some rearranging work or something to get this all to fit. But I'll figure that out in testing next year. Yeah. Yeah, big thanks for all the donations. I mean, I've got a message here. It says over £200 of donations that have come through. So, incredible from all of you for all of the support for all the years. And yeah, it's been a crazy journey. Started back in Russia 2020 when I did my first commentary. And here we are 5 years later with 91,000 live people watching, over 1 million views on the stream. We've just hit 1 million views, folks, on the stream. So a bit speechless, really. Felix Worley, thanks for the $5 donation. Thanks for the stream. I was so excited for the live result. GG Lando, indeed. Are you in uni, F1 gamer? Indeed, I am. Yes, I'm in university. Yeah. Okay. Please let us know what's on the grid. Lando disqualification. Yeah, look, I'll let you know, guys. I'll let you know, but I'd prefer it. Well, to be honest, I don't think there's going to be any sort of disqualification. As I said, McLaren know that it's the final race of the season. They can't afford any sort of mistakes, and hence they're going to run huge margins on their packages and stuff like that. So I'll let you know. Okay. 2 points, yeah, 2 points between the championship rivals at the end of the race there. You're the best, thank you. Thank you, yeah. How do you get the telemetry that you're sharing? Well, there's this thing called Multiviewer, but you do need an F1 TV subscription to actually be able to use it, so yeah, go ahead and use check that out if you're interested. Who last pressed DRS? Isaac Hadjar, if I remember correctly. One of the best commentators of Formula One. Congrats on all the progress this year. Very much is appreciated, guys. Absolutely incredible. Yeah. Really, really nice of all of you. What do you think will be the Mercedes performance next year? I don't think the engines are going to be that different, really. Of course, we're going from an 80-20 split to a 50-50 split. So for that reason, it means that the engines are going to be relatively similar. We're getting rid of, I think, the MGU-H. So with everything else, it's very, very close. So I don't think we're going to have that big of a mix-up in terms of engine performance. Audi will be a newcomer. We'll see how Audi develop their car and their engine. But for the rest of the teams, it should be pretty standard. I think the aero package, however, I think Williams is my prediction for the quickest team in 2026. Thor Argen Paul, thanks for the donation there. Very much appreciated. And folks, if you don't want to donate with your sort of your YouTube username or whatever, there is a link in the description to an email newsletter. If you just click on that link, there's a buy me a coffee link, and then you can sort of donate there if you're interested. But very much appreciated. Are you still offering a code on Surfshark VPN? Unfortunately, no code, but it's still the same $2 a month. I was trying to negotiate some sort of deal, but couldn't get anything worked out in time. Williams, yeah, the reason why I think Williams is Audi aren't using the Ferrari engine. Audi are developing their own engine, and the reason I think Williams are going to be the best next year is if you look at all of their upgrade packages for this season, they have been really good in terms of their upgrade packages correlating well with real life. Like, it's never a downgrade package for the Williams team. It always improves performance, and for that reason, that sort of indicates that their simulators are working really, really well, and their calculations and whatever they're doing behind the scenes, which means that when they're designing the 2026 car, a lot of the stuff is done outside of the wind tunnel, outside of real life, and they do it a lot in the computer. So it's a good sign that they know how to get the computers to work really perfect, because in Formula One, there's a difference of a few percentages here and there. Over the course of a lap, Colapinto is a fraction of a percent slower than Max Verstappen, and that's how he ends up in last position and Max ends up in first, right? It's tiny, tiny percentages, and I think Williams have got that. So, yeah. What are your predictions for 26? Yeah, well, I sort of given that prediction. You know what I'm going to do, actually? I'll put up the YouTube chat as well, so anyone that is watching along on their phone, they can do it. Thanks there for the donation, 15 Hong Kong dollars. Thanks for the commentary. Appreciate it there, buddy. Yeah, very nice of you all to donate. Okay. Norwich is no longer under investigation. Let's get rid of that one. That is going to cause a lot of confusing news if anyone saw that. Okay, yeah, see you next year. I mean, I know a lot of you folks aren't going to stick around right till the end, but it's been a pleasure commentating you guys, and a nice little, I don't know what the big a bow, I guess, at the end of the season, like they do at the end of a theatre or whatever. It's actually pretty similar to Cars. Yeah, sort of, I mean, maybe, yeah, I guess. Oh, okay. In terms of, yeah, the championship winner, the rookie, and the driver in second place, I guess, in that order. Of course, they've won. They come across the line in that order. Number 33 is back. Yeah, probably number 33 will most likely be back. Thanks for all your hard work, brother, for all the entertainment. Great holiday season in your family. See you all next season. Yeah, same thing to you guys. Have a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year as well. I should be back 29th of January, but that is a private test, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a private testing because there is no, I won't have all of these visuals, won't have all the lap times, so I'm not sure if I'll commentate then. But for the other two tests where there is data provided, I will be there and I will be commentating. Okay. All right. Now I get how Hamilton fans felt in 2021. Yeah, I mean, it's understandable, isn't it? Very, very understandable indeed. Good luck for your interviews. Yeah, thank you. Hopefully they go well. In fact, to be honest, I've got a lot of preparation to do after this stream finishes, so I'll be pretty busy. Thank you for your commentary. Great job, and I'm looking forward to next year. Yeah, appreciate it. Argulus, thanks for becoming a channel member. And folks, anyone that has become a channel member, don't feel like you need to be a channel member throughout the off season. Of course, you don't get the little perks of being in the Discord, and well, you can be in the Discord, but you don't get the perks of your stream your name being green or whatever. So, if you want to unsubscribe and resubscribe at the start of the season, go ahead. Like, no sort of problems there. Okay, let's see. Please answer me. Where is your chat message? I think the chat message is a little bit delayed up on the screen, but we will miss your streams. Yeah. What app do you use for the live data? It's called Multiviewer, folks. Multiviewer is the link in the description. There isn't a link in the description, actually, but it's called Multiviewer. You'll be able to find it. Multiviewer Formula 1. Okay. What are you doing during the off season? Probably maybe gonna make some merch, and I think that's about it really. Make some merch, do a lot of university work, and take a bit of a break on the weekends. Really, go see my friends rather than commentate. My throat also is starting to feel the pain, but I'll go have some honey and that'll be okay. Please can you confirm who used DRS last? I won't be able to confirm exactly if you just rewind back to when the stream finished. It'll be between either Isaac Hadjar or Kimi Antonelli. One of the two drivers were the last ones to use DRS. So go ahead. How are the classes going? They're going all right, really. They're getting a little bit intense, of course, but as an engineering degree is, but it should be fine. All right, Alonso train t-shirt. Yeah, that would be a pretty nice one, wouldn't it? That would be pretty awesome. So you need to get hired by an F1 fan and express that you need to take a few hours off on Fridays. Yeah, I think it'll be nice. I mean, it's actually quite nice in an interview, just like, I've got a YouTube channel and this and that. They quite like it. But yeah, asking for Fridays off is probably not ideal. If I said, give me like 3 hours off on a Wednesday, they'd probably be a little bit more lenient, but I'll sort of see how it goes. Yeah. Yuki is not the Japanese Minister of Defense. No, he is not, most certainly. But yeah, and maybe that's why he's losing his seat and Sergio Perez is back next year. If Oscar and Lando didn't switch in Monza, would Max have been champion because he would have had more points? Yes, that is correct. It would have been switched around and Max would have won, but it's always if, buts and maybes, ladies and gentlemen. It's always if, buts and maybes. If that scenario was to happen, they swapped around in Monza, then Piastri, who's just come home in second position, he would have come down in, fourth position. He would have given the position up to Lando Norris, and Norris would have then won the title. So it's not really... It's not really that big in the grand scheme of things because there are other races that happen after that. Okay. Who won the championship? Lando won. Lando won the championship. Yeah. Where's Sergio Perez going? He's driving for Cadillac next year. Cadillac, Sergio Perez, Valtteri Bottas, those will be the two drivers that are driving. 104 points to 2 points is the best comeback in F1 history. Yeah, best comeback in F1 history, indeed. You've just asked, I think this guy has typed in the chat like 20 times, can confirm who's used DRS last. Just go back and check. You can rewind. Yeah. How do I think Cadillac will do? Cadillac will make solid progress throughout the season, but they will not be a championship contender. Yeah. When is preseason testing? Right at the end of January, start of February. Those are the sort of times, yeah. Many things could have costed Max, crashing into Russell in Brazil, taken out by Kimi and Spielberg, spinning in Silverstone. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not always down to... There are loads of different factors. You look over a 24 race season, there are probably 3 things for each driver that could have turned the championship in their favour. You know, those 3 things for Max: Norris crashing in Canada, Norris having that issue in Zandvoort, and you know, if he switched around in Monza, or if he didn't switch around in Monza, that would have changed things around. And then same thing for Piastri with Monza and Baku, and just bad races overall in the second half of the season. Yeah. Anthony was the last one to use DRS. Thank you very much for confirming. Bin Russell, brother. Reveal name? No. Yeah, but no, big thank you to you guys for getting us to this 100k. And you can sort of see behind the scenes here with the reflective thing, but no, yeah, my name is taped up behind the electrical tape here. But really is appreciated, guys. We've got still 9,000 people here listening along, and yeah, big thank you. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. What's the replacing DRS? We're going to have MOM mode. So we're going to have, yeah, it'll be called manual override mode. And it's just a little bit of boost, extra horsepower from the electrical unit to go faster down the straights and stuff like that. 23k likes, that's got to be a record. Oh yeah, I mean, it's more than, I think it's 8,000 more than the record. We had 93,000 people watching live, at least according to what YouTube calculated right now. That will, once it recalculates, it'll probably go up to 95 or something. Yeah, it's been a mega stream. Didn't hit the 100k quite nearly there, but doesn't really matter. 95k, close enough. In fact, 95k, Lightning McQueen, even better. 5k gain, congrats, man. Yeah, I mean, no, congrats. I guess, yeah, congrats to me. He's overtaking Mom down the straight. Nah, I'm calling it overdrive mode tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next season. It'll be Max Verstappen activates overdrive going down the straight. That's pretty cool. Your coat has aura. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. I've got a lot of compliments. I'll quickly just show you guys what it looks like. I mean, oh god. Yeah, I mean, pretty sort of standard stuff. The webcam, I'm not going to bother tilting it. It's just gonna fall down. But thank you very, very much. Stream Fortnite. No, I haven't played Fortnite in about, it's been, must have been like 20, I probably played it in 2020, so 5 years now, yeah. Where are you from? I was born in Mumbai, but came to the UK when I was quite young, yeah. Piastri looks so defeated on the podium. Yeah, I mean, am I really surprised? Not really. He's had a brilliant season, his best season so far. Of course, it's only his 3rd season as well, so he will have sort of great improving potential, but you don't always come across the chance to win a championship. And, well, for that very reason, it is unfortunate that Oscar Piastri is... yeah, that might have been his one and only championship shot. You know, Daniel Ricciardo, great driver, but unfortunately, just not many opportunities to win a championship. As an engineer, what kind of job would you like to have in F1? Well, I can't work in Formula 1 because of the channel. It's too big of a social media thing, so I'll have to shut down the channel and become an F1 engineer, or keep the channel going and do something else. So, yeah. Oh, you're also from India. Nice. Play together F1 25 with viewers. Well, yeah, I may be. I mean, thing is, I'm not going to be able to do it over the summer break. I've got quite a lot of exams, actually. So that is sort of how it goes, and maybe over the summer, in the summer break next season, maybe. But yeah. I'm a little bit my commentary right there on the final lap. It obviously wasn't ideal with the lag situation, but I would have loved to put it together a bit better of a commentary speech. I wanted to say something along the lines of, "Oh, we are in the Lando Norris era right now," or something along those lines. But it wasn't as hype as I would have liked. But it's okay. I don't really get many opportunities to practice such an intense moment. At the start of the race, I was little tremor, shaking a little bit. But yeah, post race show. I mean, this is what you're gonna get, really. I can't do any more. Can't show any footage. Yeah. Predict 26 World Drivers Champion. I predict Carlos Sainz. Yeah. Would you consider working with F1 to help bring younger viewers? I mean, they've already got the F1 kids, haven't they? So, who knows? Yeah. Let's see though. What about Formula E? I mean, there just isn't the same pull, you know. Like right now, we had 91,000 people listening to the stream here, for Formula One, and I don't think that's ever going to happen for Formula E. So, who knows? Silk suit, man. I don't know if that's a sick suit or a silk suit, but my dad got it for me. So big shout out to my dad. He had some sort of connections, or shall we put it, with some fashion companies, and this was just a sample. It's a little bit small on me, but it's quite nice actually. All right. Brilliant. Well, folks, it has been a incredible pleasure commentating to you all. We've had 7,500 people tune into the stream, and it has been a mega race to commentate, mega season to commentate from start to finish. In fact, let me pull up the YouTube stats here on my. In fact, I might even be able to show you here. Or if let's see. Let's get rid of the YouTube chat for a second. YouTube chat overlay. There we go. Okay. This might show up on the screen. Yeah, there you go. Last 28 days. I mean, just look at this. From yesterday, from 222 to 2. That's 5,000 in a day. That's obviously a record. And then if we go to 2025, so let's just go last 365 days. We've gone from 122 all the way up to, well, nearly 100k. That's it. Actually, we've gone just above 100k new subscribers. So big shout out to everyone that's hit the subscribe button. Who won? It is Lando Norris. Lando Norris won the world title. Max Verstappen won the race. Firefox goated. Yeah, Firefox is it's pretty nice. Okay, yeah, bye folks. I'm sure not all of you are going to stick around for the rest of the debrief or whatever, but yeah, it's been a pleasure. My Instagram is F1Gamer_official. If anyone is interested in following me, I'll be posting quite a few memes over the off season. So just be ready. But incredible support, and we're up to nearly 1,000 followers up there. So thank you. As an engineer, what job would you like to have? I mean, look, if I could have a job in F1, I'd quite like to be a race strategist, but yeah. Okay, I think that's all from me, folks. Opinion on Lindblad? I don't think Lindblad's just ready yet. We'll see how he does. Antonelli looked a little bit unprepared as he made his way to Formula One. Lindblad even more so. So maybe he'll be able to cope, maybe he won't. Of course, AlphaTauri is a bit more of a sort of relaxed, chill team, so he should be fine in terms of developing there. Yeah, but I don't think he's just yet ready. I think maybe one more year in Formula 2 would have been okay. My favourite driver is Sebastian Vettel, as you can make out there. That's his final win with Ferrari in Singapore. Thanks for the stream. See you in 26. See you guys later, folks. AlphaTauri, Toro Rosso, Minardi, whatever it is. Kevin Hughes, thanks for the donation there. Really is appreciated. How do I find the link for the member Discord server? What you do is if you go into the community post and scroll back, as long as you're in the account that has got the channel membership, it will show you the community, the channel membership only posts, and then there's a link there. My favorite driver in the current grid, I'll probably just go with Alonso, really. I was going to say Tsunoda, but of course Tsunoda's no longer on the grid next year. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I think all of the race inspections and everything has been done. Yeah, no sort of disqualifications as expected, really. Yeah. Give us your predictions for 2026. I'll probably save that for a live stream or something like that, but I will. I'll let you guys know. I think it's Williams that will be the quickest. 3-point donation by Piastri saved Lando. Yeah, I mean the thing is, even if he hadn't done that 3-point donation there in Monza, they would have just switched the order around right now. You know, Piastri finished in second position. Piastri would have swapped the order around then, and then still he would have got that 3 points back anyway. So it's not like one race determines it all. You have to look at the entire season as a whole. Yeah. Driver of the day for Max Verstappen. Yeah, I mean, he's done a good job, but there's not much else really for him to do at this moment in time now, is there? So he wasn't going to win the title or anything like that. So, well, not with the way that it went. Yeah, about Bottas and Checo, I think they'll do well, really. At the start of the season, they will be making very sort of clear blunders, and they will not be. Essentially, I think the Cadillac team will be the most improved team of next year, because there'll be things that the Cadillac team doesn't know how to extract all the performance out of the car, and then throughout the year they'll learn about how to make the car better and better and faster, just not by upgrades, but just by using what they've already got, and then that will cause them to be the biggest upgraded team or most improved team in 2026. HPM Gray, thanks for joining the channel membership there. Very much is appreciated, buddy. Even with the Lando win, it was a really good season. Yeah, I mean, even if you are a Max Verstappen fan, it's undeniable to say this season was an incredible season. And, McLaren didn't fumble like they did back in 2007. And, they come out with a win this time. Max will be back at the sim. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I would not be surprised if Max does a 24-hour sim race immediately. Do you think Oscar got a second-class treatment? It's tough to say. I think in certain scenarios, Piastri maybe should have been a little bit more assertive, saying, I'm not doing this. It's too early. I'm also in the championship battle. But Oscar Piastri also just didn't have the pace in the final half of the season. He had such a big advantage and could have continued extending that out, but yeah, his ability in those low grip circuits just wasn't amazing, and those bouncy circuits and stuff like that just wasn't great. So he lost the championship because of it. He was in the running because of the first half of the season, and in the second half he threw it away. And the opposite of Max Verstappen. Verstappen wasn't really throwing it away in the first half of the season, but the Red Bull car didn't have the pace. They couldn't get it into the window, and they managed to figure it out in the second half, but at that point it was too late. And Lando Norris, his first half wasn't amazing, but it was still okay, and then his second half was just great, really. So, F1 Gamer, had fun with your commentaries this year. See you on to the next. Yeah, I will be seeing you guys all on to the next. Can't Lando still be disqualified like he did for Las Vegas for sparking? Yeah, but they would have checked the car by now, and it will have come out on the news and everything. And yeah, and double checking the news, there is nothing that has come out. So no sort of issues there whatsoever for the McLaren team. They will get this title, and they will not be disqualified. All right. Do you have a more conservative suit for job interviews? Yeah. I have. It's just over there, really. Yeah. Is VCARB sixth? VCARB is sixth. Yes, they are sixth in the constructors' title, as you can see, just over here. Aston Martin are seventh. Haas are eighth. Kick Sauber are ninth. Alpine are 10th. Yeah. Okay. One of the tests for 2026. They are in January. End of January. Yeah. Congratulations to Norris. Enjoyed my stay. See you till next season. Yeah. All right, folks. I think I'm gonna call it a day. Really, it has been an incredible pleasure commentating to you all for the entire duration of the season. I hope you have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on where you are around the world. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas, Happy New Year. In fact, this stream will take you over to the testing stream for 2026, surprisingly enough. And, you know, that subscriber growth that I showed you where we'd gained 100k subscribers was totally and utterly down to the fact that you guys hit the like button on the streams before they started. Like, I cannot sort of describe to you sort of how important that was and how much it helps the channel. So, you know, if you guys could do that for the 2026 stream as well, that'd be mega. But yeah, either way, it's been incredible. And even if this is the last season that I commentate, and you know, the FIA say, oh, you're not allowed to stream anymore, I'll be happy with it. It's been a really great joy commentating to you all. And I think that is all from me. So yeah, I shall see you all. I think it's in like 50 or so days, 52 days or something like this, for the final race of the season. No, for pre-season testing next year. And yeah, I'll enjoy the free weekends. I hope you enjoy the free weekends as well. And I shall see you next year in 2026, where Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon, I think, will be the quickest drivers out on the circuit. 49 days. All right, brilliant. So I'll end the stream. I'll take you over there. Hit the like button on it, as you've always done. And see you in 2026. Bye-bye.